Ice natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Neat FM Neo!
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afibia so beri ni waware ne a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan sia. Asew. Udan kwanu ntumu ho. Me be mo anu nsu hye kura de aka ho. Uhade a wapi ho. Ukasa batete edafo mo. This way chocolate drink.
Crash obepe e baba ware.
Asew.
Ye fi ase this way chocolate drink ya sorry anopa no ne yenom. Ye be hwe fridge nom no se snack. Ye nya hoho a no ne ye de serve wo mo. Ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a. This way chocolate drink ne yenom. And this way no ti ano a, he se kire wom, koko wom, brick wom, bibia wom, ade wo hia ne so hye.
This way chocolate drink.
De wo hia ani so hye.
FDA ahwe se adwede nkrato mo agye atum se eye.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Neat FM Neo!
Na mi ko to jeni mara na mi sugu mera de so se okai mi sani na go yetie ma onyineni intamio ani amani na yabasa na mi ni da so dia e bia mi ko wucho mi mo na mi ni abu afo bi na mi ko to jeni mara na mi sugu mera me suai se oka me sani na do yetia
100.9
na mi sasu mi shebo bi se radi bwam na so twitwa jimia me de mi kraba ba fare mano me di ne chiraba so anya kwada na mabisa de ni na ranso Christ wedi ama me pa se mi onyam kasi asu asima brabo ndia betwa mi boshane ka mama manwo ndia makochana so anya kwada na mabisa de ni na ranso atia apanu wakuama mepa se bi onyam kasi asu asima brabo ndia betwa mi boshane ka ayako kande mamina ya basa na meni ande daso na bra mi ko mi ko to jani awo adufan kasi nyakopo wona mi to mi so ku achim se ni onyam bi wo no mo Sakasi, Sapapai, the Cassia de Mano, it's a minute. What did it? Why would it do? For how in Amano, Famano, I am was that? How now? Put up, you was so one, you want brown one, or shell. I never knew I ever saw. Maybe I didn't need us for the phobia. Na mi call me go to Jenny Mara. Na mi sugu mera ne so wate. Se onka mi sani another yet ma onyinani itamio. Me sasu mi shebo mi se radi kwame na so twitwa jemia. Me de me cry baba fire no. Lady Nechinamati. Anamanina yabasa. Miniani gasolia. Everybody call what's up you mo. Namini phobia. Na mi call me go to Jenny Mara. Na mi sugu mera ni su. Say onka mi senya na boyatia. Ma wani nani tasisio. Na me sasu me sebo me sa. Era de boam na so chichaji mia. Hey, me de mi kala ba baraba no. Me direji daba. Na brame wo. Asoche no so na she kwata. Na me bisade ni na ramso. Wayama me pa. Send your yam suka see swasi ma brabo idia. Echa mi bosenika. Mire, ma brabo wo. Anya fada. Na me bisade ni na ranso. Papa wa kwa ma me pa. And your yam suka see ma brabo idia.
Ya no me bibrime. To yesuo etu esi vema bo okunkunim kofa ejina ne so akwara paadi kokwe hu ededa mana ekire no ye ne adehyiamra kroma dansidifo mehwe kasemu kira awawade esumu apai mo hire nyakwa pie awawasem nie we die bi si pen ye ne no ya owia no hoboko ebie puno no sa no ya odi kwatututu Neat FM
Neat 100.9 FM so any na ene ya wada opepon bosumi na yewomi ne de to so dunkrom afi empino aduonu emiensa Thursday January 19 2023 Ghana MONTIE dwumadi na yede ebremo Ghana MONTIE dwumadi mi amidi ho chiame ene yeframe ADAKABRI Mamudu osiuma na nka detailing boy kwasi abuaje wote adwamu a ejesenka kwa ase ka ekrom ene se wuti akire ma my die nyina me wo faase Majeri osai Ajman the maestro na ono so ebaaye and then bridge here boy whilst he was at the bridge a boo say Jane na ansemu a ewumu de arehosem de abrayen memne dai ene se yekudi na wotweda no ewo konongo asante achim central na Mrs. Majeri osai Ajman yakudi na wotweda na busua panyini etimi ya me hunu entutu e wo ho ene eda ye benum sikasa ni akata akire kura eno ene de ADAKABRI Mamudu osuoma edi maba betena ahanoma no peya mi so mu kakra kusikusa no kusi se normalcy ebesan take place possibly by February 1 na yehunu ano na de na ewo ho no man no pay amansan chairman staff sergeant Harrison Ford kwabna mafu watenase de bokrata ahodo no wo ba be doso no de amayen production no still the man behind opanyin Kwadwo Damiado ojina na so pintin will produce show no. He is the proud owner of the contents of this show na fe so nana ku free and so ebo no echi edom technical production no so there na ewo nana ku ewo abna frema ensem yesane mrane mara michi mafa afi nana yawo no so atnase na won so wa mi aboa frema ama bibia ko social media handles nyina on behwe dia bre yemfa seda so emfama engineering group no 24/7 na almost share both at the remote location and at the studios. Actually, yeah, they was say Walker, yeah, they was say, but you could Nigeria asido na face so no ada sankroma na nanabu aji yin free so a enye yie. Ni nyina ne say despite media NEAT 100.9 FM, a great group almost so Emma Yatienka. Na yemfa seda so emfama facilities group no Big Solo, Dada, Yaw, Godfrey, your friend Uprana, na fe Mapuna, na DJ Bosco. Na mail so ya sanamra say tete omu nyina eka ho ene sa no pay wotimene say make say nti ye de gumudi a e de na ni nyina ne say amansa chem obetumi akọ Facebook live NEAT 100.9 FM on Facebook live na wo comments ade beba no na wo de aba owo ahina kwasi champon kwache and was God bless you Obatampana na Ekwe Deputy Ambassador to the People's Republic of China and former member of Parliament for Runoff constituency. Your people have missed you and need you back to continue your good works. And a year or wahine, walker, a year or Batampa free, Nanka Yablikuma, a year north, Mashobi Jani, na Udi and Kugo at the Emash Labatelsi, and it's a Wakwe Deputy Ambassador, Ewo, Henefa, Ewo, China, and Nona and Chiano, Abba at the Amano. Samuel Boatin say, or share live, Ewo Kumasi. Kabra me Moatrasi. Na Cecilia Mafo so anope ya chiano wona no and I was so just anope so on the worship no mai wa mre enwu so no enti nkuransha wo say wa mre enwu kwabra wa mre enwu ko wie say obi de bi breme voice bi abrantie bi a or see a friend Dr. Patrick Asidu. Na me deliberate kakra SMM mo. Na what's the do baby aya na conscience it me directo. And say me hold on kakra bi. Then I'm to learn late last night. Say Ghana Police Service. Akochire sa abrantie no. Abra wo di video to abontene say ono wo ye doctor. Na oko achirigano na ofa Samara Pharmacy aprekufie nanim ho ede be join the motorway no incidentally ya na approach for SWAT for agina ho a omo no ehwe akobadie no said the esikro a couple of times on begina me na o mama usia na we invite o say boa no na yehwehwe car no iti na nya de wanwa bia mi hunu bibia untoward say o maye bibi but abrante ne allege say okofa wo de be join the motorway no no de ba kwase man na ye gina ano a ye koba ya ne say ye de cocaine ene ye wi e de ato ne car no and turn up say police for na de tu mu nkwa me ya na so ho na dia na ye je free wa ye de cocaine ni wi nyina beto ka mu na amunamunu mu ha omo yire no say ontua 20,000 cedis ansana ye friend say wo mu agya no na ofre ye ni nua sojani na sojani ne de squad nipa be soja for be 7 na omo ba ye na omo ba cost police for no emunsam ye de call ye narcotics control for ye laboratory I mean say narcotics control for laboratory instead of the standards board for ni nyina no ko wie say na fede de ni nua sojani no or papa police command wo mo ni so na and process forces akwa no kinkan dia process for community kinkan dia process for community na ya na fede de ya na dampos de benyo na ya na nipa ni no ya no mo ya odwene ho ya na
sam no ba ya mete no anti wunya ya nanka wo tene ho se wo pesa wo bebo ana sa wo mo
asa ninsam na wo kan ye no circumstances are or can say process for no cost no na baby also fire no they join the motorway no yes na a couple of times process for gina me ohoda so I that say omugina on the south side of Samara Pharmacy street no and I say north side of the Samara Pharmacy street no they joining motorway no but in all instances a process for gina me ohoda no omu ye interested in say oh be a wo kwen a couple of times on my see for no or invite me say me nyina me hwe no abra or kwa me car no any ade it me the anam free say undesirables omo ba eye agire gan no de ko trasa ko na omo bua ya me ehunu nipa yes but I did not realize say ono ni die was say ya invite na manage na nchen ye de ni wie na ka say doctor we doctor de ye nyi wachi enso so no die na da wo kai mu sa nipa no ni nsem o ka quite elaborate except to say
wa family akura me tie ye no in fact me yam shimi o emam na me kura me di hu nkomo say but adentina sese aposifo yesa say ye no kura wodi cocaine ni wi beto obi kan mu na wasan demand sika e de afri ne nkyɛn enti pani kura na me ni di hu nkomo no na me ka kyɛ ne sɛ ɛsɛsɛsa posifo no yɛde wo mu famra kwan so pa but sɛ it turns out to be sɛ saa asɛm no a abranteɛ no ka ne nyinaa no ɔfa anya no kura wa ha adwene pa
the police statement no must say
abusuafo ayi statement ya aposifo ade aba betu dwa no enie what asa aposifo enne that say I think it's yesterday because enra na ye 18th no aposifo tre say aya enra 18th January 2023 Oma kwatsi abrantie bia na wokasa ewo abefo kwan ya yefa so eto nkra ya na ne nsɛm a woka ne sɛ aposifuo bi ade ade akɔsɛ ne sɛmu na introduction kra no wɔyɛ no wɔse wɔde Dr. Patrick Esiedu na aposifuo stop no ɛna oginaayɛ apɛ ɛna posini ba akɔsɛ wɔmra enti wɔkɔ posini ba akɔ ne nkyɛn no ɛna afe wɔsa ba back ye ɔbaaya posini ba akɔ nso gyina ho no wɔse masa ɛdeɛ na da wo ka yɛnim ha yi ɛna wɔse deɛ ya wɔse ahyɛ sɛ cocaine ni wi ɛda ha fa wo nsa som ɛna wɔse wɔmfa ne nsa nsom ɛna posifoɔ no yɛ sɛ yes ɛna saa deɛ ombetumi aka no bɔkɔɔ na asomdua 20,000 wontua na posifoɔ tre sɛ ai so called Patrick Esiedu oye Uber driver but onye doctor muntie ni yie nipa no a wɔbɔ no ho nsamra ne sɛ wɔde Dr. Patrick Esiedu no aposifoɔ se onye doctor ni na mom oye Uber driver
think aposifoɔ no so no ɔmo hwɛ yie eye brand Uber no so free mu no mo ka sɛ hail ride sɛ saa car no bia pre-booked hail ride na and can so wa protect brand Uber no ya na obi kodi anyambrasem na ode abe affect obi brand that wa build over the years you go shoot you
na ensisemu kakra aposifoɔ kyerɛ se wo mu ayɛ abetodwa edi afa saa nsɛm a na abranteɛ ne kanyina ho no kwasi buroni bɛka sɛ ɛyɛ force ɔboa ɛyɛ ntorɔ ɛna wobetumi asa aka sɛ ɛyɛ total fabrication ɔno ankasa no wɔtena ase no wɔbɔ ne tirimu pɔ sɛ obɛyɛ bibi saa na saa asogyafoɔ no a wɔse wɔn kura baa mu ɛma ntokwasi yɛ ɛwɔ posifoɔ ɛne asogyafoɔ ntamu a na wɔno describe wɔno wɔtra sɛ sɛdeɛ ɔka no wɔ tape no mu nyinaa no ɛnya no korɛ ɛyɛ ɔno a dramatic detail ɔno a nana wɔyi nsɛm kwaade ka asɛm ɛna ɛyɛ suspect ne imagination ɔno a nana wabɔ ne tiri mu ɛka bibi afei description a wɔde maayɛ sɛ yɛde no kɔ Accra Central East Legon Police Station Narcotic Control Board ɛkɔfa ne fingerprint ɛyɛ hu sɛ saa nye ɔno a na ya aposifoɔ no dia no ɛhɔ ne nyinaa nso ɛnya no korɛ ayantro bibia sense Patrick Asiadu suspect ya kana semu na wasa trese waya witness incident bia esi ye ena no wakasa wo tape mu a wasi ebi kura
eso be ente na anu bi na wono wate se bibi se bisi etu obi se hunu we na wudi
aye
na anu ena wono wote ye se obi se bibi se bi to no ena ne wodi be gina ho abekasa boni sire mu abekanse mu hunu
etu wono ne pasinya
etu ne na anu bi na we asemo yeka am say na nkrofo koyi yesa video no bi akwabena ya na omko yesa voices ni bi na ya no mfiri say yentimi ntresu omo ana eye cyber security of the Ghana police no omo nkyere mu nkrofo hunu say chedema mani panen konkoye eni ache no na omo ma deterrence bi mra sa wo yesa de we ya ye betimi ya dictate abechew
of we create problem pao
ama hwan
and but one say o me
budi na na to aduane adia abdi bia be bo akonhoma na ko dia nyam brasem say the institution no good institution animase na aka say good institution animase when the police are overrun do you have a state
no
sem hunu we say na wudi kwabena chese
maybe what ya ba ni tirimu a wo ya bosirem kasa
the adwene ba
ni say na wa say min create bibi na sa de we ye create digidi
nyen waji din ka bebo ndi Patrick Asiadu
abatu wa fa baby adi na kwa wie
na we
anti we si adu ko gina amra no na sa court ka say ade a wa ye nti wo de akodam wan ye akura wo fie waste time
said e omane beto aduane amenadi
na aduane ye say
aduane say ye na na se wunya eye enkwan ne gade kura say ye
but wo fa enka de ba wa fa bia na de senka wo wasumdie na wotumi koba ya wo bia nsa wo mfa emra bia ntetere wo
onim se ye betimi atresi abeche no nipa bebre ye saade no a ya na omani naso enintam senka prosifo no cyber security fo no omuntimi emma dawro emma enkrofo ati se de prosifo akwa tete kwa ho ni ye twen wo se ube overspeed ni ya chewo da bi mama tete kwa ho akwa bi na ogina eye ufri back airport runabout Kumasi na de ko Plaza Hotel ho na ya na nipa ni bi fri nyanya so na omoba ekwa na dual carriage na intersection kakra utimi ye U10 ho na U10 no na ensese uye U10 do ani kire airport police station airport runabout Kumasi na mu nka wo turn left na wo de akọ eye plaza de akọ eye dichamso na we na proceed bi na oso akotete Plaza ho no tete wo obi achi wo ho na wo mo ye mienu ke ba akugina se na wo betwa we na president na huri no be gina kana nim santan na to wa be gina kana nim santan Ghanaian Times hey ya akura until say be ba be Dubai na president wo bi so tete wasa unya ye U10 ana wa huri be gina say santan enkotete ema obi nya mone ansa na wa che no ubo modern na yabo dawuro enti o se cyber security for no ebo dawuro mankofo hunu se saade we wo ya ye be ye den ye be chew ye betimi atresi abehwehwe na nkrofo ho de saade we di nsem hunu no na wo monye
ofanya nika
atese utie over 6 minutes asemu abrante ne kan ye
ekoso fia mpanika
na hwese de na
enti afemi se
na madwene ni midi na enti kame bone nura na BBC da bi jai BBC jai enti imagine say glifly no boy na akeka bi gire prosifo na atene am say enye no kura yi a enka ne enka be feel say
ka wo be pacho
enka be pacho de enka be pacho so ahunu wo mo adi kwatena social media edi a prosifo atemu nyina no and how do you feel
ofan me kura bra menya we no wa say wo free kofodua na say wo kokofodua na wo fa wan fa suhun but wo fa eburi ho no
a manfe ekusane ko adoso e de ko tinko
ofa baabi wo ho mfimfini wo baabi a postifo bi gina ho wa hu menim se kuro no ankasa de sen o
state farms bi ho kwa to state farm ho no sa stretch ho
a postifo bi gina ho menhu postifo a omudi wo mu hu ni sada what a postifo na bu nipa sei Offer and just say be our utu one man who went now. Boss at the say no what just so. Passengers, Munina will be here. Driver no one go speed. Oh, there been crankra. Carry on. Private car no went now.
Reformation be
what?
Reformation be because
sa possible na what's our kind no so no dear. Me teacher ma wo.
Reformation be because now no kwasiada and we a person na udi hunu no ahwe kwasiada and na eye dampi eye inspector general police and na ono ahye ne shoso na wote eye ne Land Cruiser bi mu and na boko odi free eye Cantonments Road eye Cantonments police station or edeba Togo embassy runabout wo and na police ne ketua bi etimoto so and na o San Land Cruiser no o San Land Cruiser ne sa ache so okope bibia ka ache no se de and na when man fe de Land Cruiser ejina ya police ne bra kan wasem a afide na nipia so se inspector general police do ubu nkotodwe no sha ase se osu what has wow kwasiada wa yo yan it ya breast one to me ka tire mu kwasiada wa yo ya dampi
ubewazo wa be
pie oso na pe de agwai ogojina na kwedi post ogina ka di post anaja Land Cruiser ejina ya dampi na atiesi from yi abe the president bu nkotodwe no so osu mu ena dampi tu moto de safwa ena ogotra ne Land Cruiser mu ena tito wanko ba bia nkwanko duru Ghana International hon ma hu se a process for me ensa bi su jojo foreigner bi esoso ne ade o so mduru wan ma wogina ese e de na ekoso ha se no o de bi o akoya damfo no na president wo mo hwe yo kwasiada na mpisa mo hwe yi Cantonments no mo papa odi o mani o odi o mani papa
juma no sa ne ye no
odi o mani papa in fact sa reformation na ekoso no nanso nipa bi so wa awrehye mu ese afi no ye beyi na di afi no ye beyi na o za Ghana wan o ye no bi so ya nye nipa ni nyina so na beta wachi o ai we nipa no man end of the year ye beyi na di
na nso de ofa wo bia ya na nso de
ye gusu ayetie wo kwabena
ofa ai mekọ paper no mu na ai mama mo MPP national executives no abaso wo ma ya de pa wonim se wo mu ni ononyamfo kan wo fori atakohia na general secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong wo kire se omunya enkra free bond holders no wo say bond holders no dodo na ya pensioners enti
individual bond holders
yes individual bond holders dodo na ya pensioners ya wafa wano I say so wunyini do mpeni mfie so baby a na anyarewa ne ade because of wonya active ninti ebitumi kura attack o emre bia o wayade we nti dodo no akura no ni sika ni nro na wode to wode bi ko hospital eno an wode didie nkakra enti sa wode wonsa ka wo musika se ekim na tese nipa no na wo pese in a nice way nukunkum wo mu enti o ma na so ema wo mutu anamon invite ononyamfo kan wo foriata e wo party headquarters se wo mra and omunene tenase aka kire no se situation a wo ma find wo mu self enie enti party no ejina wo mu si ene se aban aya ne nsese ya individual bond holders no o exempt wo mu enti atrasa party no take position say on support ade no a oye no titru paye bond holders ya individuals no omu aninye ho enti wanyi mfiri mu but offer akase ononyamfo kan wo fori ata betia asem wo mu kae no na wode be ya aduma because ya kekafuna kekama dampan enkofu a wo mu su wo mu tiem ya disappointed no disappointed ni nyina koma MPP party no because wo mu na ebu aban no wahu sabi adoade enka no ho wodo nanso adoa yi ama na free kroti amansa enti efotuo no a party no ede ma no ofa akase ononyamfo kan wo foriata ede be ya adwuma bat
ti say wo to in contest on the new leadership
yeah
Omo Steve na Yensun team let party eko wie say omo the initiative bi buy say party ne wo aban no
yeah
na aban no post ni nyina be say 5,000 and ya many pa be 5,000 ne post enti akodum pompon so a omo susu say minister for ni chief executive for no omo ni party no ebedi nkuta ho at the national headquarters it was enumu and as obesha the vice president okoko sra party no ono mu di nkomo our kan so obeye card ama wo mo enumu na alanjon kojo chematen ono so kosra wo mo our kan say album at the polling station level no obeye de ama wo mo emuna Kennedy Kwame Akompreko Japan okoko sra wo mo iti esansra no mu bie no eno mo di engage Henufuriata inti eno na general secretary no ede national executive anu di samo beto Henufuriata enim say omo telephone calls ubu omaso telephone calls ubu omaso say retired persons pensioners na womu esusu say isika akodimu inti ekoba say part no mu aya womu de ma to ya indicate the ono can no de okoka kire womu nzo ko bia ba nanka ono de nanu di sembi tudwa nanka party no so amane mu aye bi ba we ne de party no mu aye no nyina akoko wie se owura ade we no ebu party na so enti hwe na se ye behwehwe kwanfufuro bia ye betimi de aye sa debt exchange no a ebeboa se ne se enei pensioners ebebo amanyoko MPP no achiri se MPP fo na betwe emene
wa wo se wo fo mu nyina ka wo kasa MPP aban MPP party MPP aban MPP party dina plan
ya the brand no na ye twena bo so
the brand MPP no na wo mu gu nanimu ase but offer as to say ononyamfo kan wo fori atabetie asam no a executives no eka kire no na wode be ya adwuma na obezamti wo mu since that day no a wo mu ye meeting no omeka ahwe se bia ye meeting no metie no wasopem intimidate ye adwuma individual bondholders no ya azamti wo mu omeka ase but offer say
no ma ye meeting
but offer who say ya say pan say offer wo na wo ye busia pani a wo fidua yi mu ana wo ma wan kasa de wo man kasa wo won
eya otadua mu ba no
good eya me oda me na na yaw frema ba wunu anom ma eya solo wunu anom ma eya mawusi wunu anom ma eya yaw kase ena yaw kase ma eni wo mu ewe ni usuru mu ho no mawusi ma eni wo mu ewa marketing ho solo nso ma eni wo mu aye technicians no wo mu na wo fom ona wo soro but ofa wo wakodi jaboka woni wo meye wo soro hai wo de me kwa international school $2 oda me kwa university wa abrochire FRIMPONG akwada wanyini nu ba bia what losses wa ma no na ya use losses ma wanko agumu fia ha egu ha ya esom mo no ekeka ko 100 na wo kopa besia ni ya se ene wankasa kwana ko check wa brabo wo se wankasa ho de a won check but wo tumi a wo betumi ade akwadidi solomu sika ade akwadidi mawusi musika ade akwadidi na ya okasi musika na wo de akwatu atua ho aka but wankasa de wa wo fa de unya wantini da se ema wanu agufie ha bebre no wo bete so unya wantini nso da se minu a wo de me kwa international school a wutua $, no wo beyi mafuru wo de maba baabi foforo wo ma no nso kasi a wo toma wo mu akase no nso unya wantini se ube jaimu biaye afa kura de wo kro no a o wo sisika wo di na fie temu no esa enti wo sa be di bi aka ho 40% de aka ho na wo de wonte de no akokyere technicians ne marketing fo ni newsroom fo no ofa wa asem we ede mampani na nado eni kan wo fori atasika asem so afo instead they say expenditure womu ankasa sika womu di womu bete so no eno de wose wonte so wasa increase no wa ba mu nipa bebrebe no asasa wote so no eno so a wose wonte so but individuals ya ni sika no kra no eyesen ode tutoto ndro no no ukwa akwaji sa sika no afa nyame ti ase o nyame owo ho ade bia ye bebu ho akonta odi onkwaso nye time hotel say waye no wankwa wi a kamusa na abode san kaka mankasim gom onkwaso
jama
ade ya ho no wode nkofo afam saa no
onno nko asa na eye saa na se eye team
ofa mese ntina meka se one mampani na nado e na aka bom
omugide
because mampani ase wononyamfo kan wofori ata eye sikasam so afo extraordinaire wo man no asetia esese ye bo ho ban ade ya no ohu wo no ho etresa ade bia kan wofori ata ye bia wo supporto sa kwantu a wutu watu kwanye tu mampani ekromu atena kura nya ne de
enti sa approach ya Kenufuriata led finance ministry omode debt exchange anka any other finance minister biano oni another approach and cobet me employ than Kenufuriata de ya as a wafa nipa no mumi
anya ntina party no MPC no kura kan wo mu hubo mu sai yansesa papai na wo bi benya idea foforo e de aba enti wo fa sa approach of a one kasa na obeye wonya finance expert but wo fa nti one kasa na obeye I say obi a wo ye heartless on tini nipa ho anase omunipa
onitima
woni atenka bia ma nipa ena be ya ade a wononyamfo kan wofori ateye
obi ono so okuta twero yi di ye ndwuma
wafa womu a ekura bible no enye womu nyina but bebre ye hypocrite sa wo pese sisi ayase sa wo pese wuti boni aye nche wo afa bible kura
ejiro bi be kan na aye no minu
sa wo pese wuti boni afa na mate ase sentia bebre nkwa asore no
wo hwe nipa ho nti nkwa asore
ofa na wa wudi manim no wa wudi manim no ya wo kire me kwan no wa mu wafom kwan wa wudi anim sankofo we suban nti ena obi a sabi ni tidie wanyame mu nya kese no ena wotena sidin gine ho a wose asore no kura won kobi no wotene baabi because
achese udi ni pechi akase me nkwa asore
ofase oken wo fori ata wa asore anka minsi hoda
Kenufuri atenti
yes se ono o wa asore a minsi hoda ena na asore a wo konso se on se ofa wo ye bibia wo sofo tumi frɛ o meti hei ebia na me ka asem bi me call overboard wa apostle Eric Nyameche on wo ye Pentecost apostle ofa ofrɛ me na wone me kasa there is no way ya me kasa meto papa na no awofom because me respect no enti kan wo foriata because of ono nti na sorry okokura me nko
there's a Kenufuri atenti
nipa wo ya heartless just say ontini nipa ho se papa we mi hu bi da pensioners na ofa pensioners no anya ya ni yati a wo musu wo mukọ bank ya ebi tumi kwaje say 100 Ghana for a month ebi tumi kwaje 160 ebi tumi kwaje 80
ni nyina ni so gina say ubeko pension no you should have contributed to SNIT a minimum of 240 months
wakati ya ne yesay
owurai wakati ya yesay ni nyina say o contribute do sen
mo
adwumayefo do sen ne ko SNIT ekwa check say ni contribution kura no a company no atua
sa time a wo bo besia ebro je ho mfaso ebro besia je bo ebro besia no sisi yi mokura mu wasika yes sika ta wonu mu se ta wasampo anu anwea mom de mo sacrifice
na epokura no ensuo ntongum
mo de anu mo sacrifice o individuals ya mobro wa wonu amu ko wati wonu kura bosumi wakwa bank ye yatamama na 40 Ghana watamama na 80 Ghana wonu ni sika na wokotete enti wadwene ho ahu nipa enko mu bewu wase wadwene ho because papa yi asma duro no kura wanya bi anto na se na asma ba na obi ani ni ntan atim no okọ enti wada adwene ho da nipa ba ko petumi afa wo mamu nyina nkoa
na wana ma kwan
na why na man is atumi
no na to abama no
oh okay sa 2024 ni echi
oh jai
2024 ni echi
jai odo ne parties ne somo wo mu no odo ne parties ne somo wo mu kinga de
ofa ono no wonim de ha agene kakra wo no ho
e de ha agene
sa party ni lusu emfa no ho MPP party kwa abato na wo mu lusu a emfa no ho
Africa ahochire wo no akra no de adesu asuni no
Mexican wo fori ata of a party ko election o ko lusu enka ni court enka ni set onu ati wa wanya MP
nyabutre
what so say finance minister mpo ni nsati te say habo gate
oh come on
ni person na tumi kwa ne nten
ni nyina ni twa say onyaye a adesu ankeso no kra no ya 2024 abama nka obi fufura beso why
onu wanya na adwene so obeja akonya na to onye na adwene da say obeja finance minister na to party ni na ko opposition a o mu be bre papa de ya me ya
emedome obi a wa ha
ofa
Mira ke kada bakata na ya kuntunkunkunu ezebe unye nwuru ba bia na dwene firi na ninsem ni bi ho no ma ya na chese shebitiri mintiminka ka bia mekanism ni bia nka mo beti no ma bia se ogina ho sa no ya kuntunkunkun mekanism bi eni ba bia ya na jama minkama no ntumati na ebire
ya bi ya mo bi wo ha ofi obi
wuni no ntira
na tere se what de
ya panyini bi nebusa ne se ya kase edisa ase ne sen wo hwe ni pa kasa edisa
na tere se what de ne two fia
wo de panyini bi nebusa se panyini so nipa wo hwe nipa bi ya na kasa edisa ase ne sen wow di kwa bna chene so biguzu tie o
yo abusia for the democrat ya friend say Ghanaian Times yanim ha mampeni na nando dan kwa kufuado kwa kuda traveler wada ha ana wone empenimfo a wo Dubai ye forum bi a wo mu ye ana wo ka kire wonum say Ghana ya targeting net zero emission na net zero emission ni de me said anti ase papa but was say
as emissions no was a car kwa exhaust pipe no and as a exhaust pipe no unse ya na enwusie na firi mu ba no unse ye carbon dioxide into no say carbon dioxide ni bebre no ba and as enwusie no ba abonte bebre no a ha into other jurisdiction kura no so we betwa roadworthy no ye test emission levels Africa no ba no na ya ka say o pollute ozone layer no and it's a pollution na air ba no no ho ne ye hwe ema wutumi tua roadworthy it is oka ne punwusie bebre a utua more na aka no so punwusie bebre a utua less into ma encouraging crop ema mu use car with less pollution less emissions it is our emissions no ho ani se nhyiamu aba Ghana mampanyin wo ka ho asem
Inti yansu ya target say yansu ye benya sa zero emission nibi.
Because they know
ya car tumpunu
wusi. Because they will say hybrid ya bebe yeah electric. So no into electric no and petrol no less emissions and
hybrid ni bi gumeni masi. Me sparky ya no za me nim sa sparky. And I my friend pakwaze me sparky anyiso. And I say how? And I'm say my sparky anyiso. And was
silent.
I was it as later no na me tia and no super and young woman to say to the enemy. Me tia as later say and I'm say sa spark and was I hybrid
and no can say started can say spark. That's time I use the spark plug into no say spark no. If you know I was starting engine no and you say was spark engine assemble cry
spark
and then say a new technology no air so no it can no think a combustion box no mu a one can say a carburetor you took carburetor now room you say overflow I say na so no
if I would took injectors no injectors na we say emu ebia say emu ebia no wa pe copper wire na wo di awuram enti say do copper wire no wuram na tight ya obonza copper wire na jefa na ho na ye ketu enti na ennom enti
the woman's enti enne no unso ma change no akọ CDI a common rail direct injection this are common rail direct injection no I bypass the nank I read kwamna if you would defeat another who what it the enu a dia yo no
this year you sing yet
to common rail direct injection no ni nyina no enna musa na akọ enti no ebene eco friendly so no enti na ekura no say diesel cars ni bebre no and Mercedes kura no auto Mercedes a diesel o bibi e fe no blue tech say blue tech no ebebe fra diesel no mu na ma na lean na emissions na eba no enye tete nwusie no a ekoni pa minimum unze nwusie nya de papa
of a poisonous the most poisonous one is the carbon monoxide and not there
within 30 seconds we inhale ebetimi yakun
and not there me call Cape Tech no from form 1 to form 3 na exam sibia eba no eba what is the what is
obishaw we obishaw
wafa no mu bisasa
what is the amigusutie
me can the bad one
we obishaw
number 2 carbon
Needs FM Needs FM yo
ano na mampeni na danko akufuado watrese yanso ye ba be yebi said ye be ya ye benya climate friendly ye betumi aboa yen afa mining so ye be practice ne kama na wo mu ahye kwayem ya wo mu tenu eguo ema climate change no enapa abrofi wafami hu se abrofo climate change yesi hodawo
ebisi won pa
every titi bira wo call we se winter de bia ye no winter ena summer de bia ye no summer wafa asesanda
I said the woman say etimi sesa ema wia ne boa ma etimi broso ana say I want it me ba ma ne broso ema snow na anu say uko New York Buffalo kokofwe di see wo no
na wafa ne bre no de ensesan
I said ha so ne bre ne ensesa
ba aha ne bre asesa ebra sesa nka yenim se nsuo to no nsuo nto tamu ayenim sesa wi abo no ewi ammo
eno nsuo to takrade
wa look at this you enso aha de nsuo anto afa public account committee wo ma order say wo mun kwachi guarantors miensa bi say wo ma guarantee the ama workers bi a wo mu abiriti bond conditions enti yankwachi wonu ononyamfo kan wo foriata wo yesikasam so afo wo den se bo ono na woda hei what I say individual bond holders no still one no mobile agreement still one no mobile agreement and technical committee no ebe address wo mu consensus wo mu di aba no but pass dia waka ye no say individual bond holders no because wakas wo yi individual bond holders na free mu pe asama to yen ye sika sem be bi agina no so enyina yi
enti nyan say wo pesika am yetimi de atuatua ye ho aka ye de ewo ye ebosia na yakogegye no na se ye default wo sa abosia no mu a ehun sunsanso no dɔɔso edinka desrede na wo kɔsrɛ sɛ usika no ya mfa amawo ne yetimi boa no na yetimi di kotua yɛka yɛdede wɔ international markets no a ne yɛ default a akina bi mum wo nana bi bedi yie atakwan a wo fa so de akɔsrɛ wo mo no ɛno na akɔyɛ ɛboakye bi dini no
wo fa ntitama wononyamfo kan wo furiata wo bobisia no a minority fo ene ko parliament eye press conference me kan say duru ba bi kura minority fo to me kan say figures ni wa cookie ode niam ni bi asie onka no kure ode niam ni bi akota ba bi busia bo no dɔɔso a omo ka still obo ode anigye bo edu bi ye kenke party no na wonim say hunsunsanso obeba
woye ehunsunsanso na abawi esom kakra bi mame na menkoye interview ba kwin emra eye Daily Dispatch na watwro say MP defends Alan coordinators anti-Islam comments against Bawumia, and then Daily Dispatch poses the question, will Alan condemn it? And what can I say? Say a former member of parliament for Ayen Suano, Sam Aye Upe, and when they Arabi chatty or more private WhatsApp, Arabi say when the Akuf was at the end. Now, when in the private chatting, when they ran, because now Suminyam, no caso me Presbyni, and I was a chap on Moby Busa say, in the Presbyni, I said, would you woody Woody Cramoniachi for the flag bearership yana. Na way and a ranama sa private chat no. Ababeda abontene. Na mu abontene ne dano ene ho kasatentene say MP ni tia say Cramoni betimi abe Ghana mampanyine no. Eno na honorable member of parliament for English amam from Sylvester Tete Sly. Wono ye busa no so we are the nwanwa abe na asi. Na I pay say and say yedi ababeto no me a o say Sly ese ayi pay nya boni bia Daily Dispatch busa say enti Alan so be can say ojitum say sa private WhatsApp chat no or supporto ayi pay and say o condemn obi private chat no ye ne Sly Tete entwe nkomo kakra empasade honorable member yamo ahado yamo achedo ba NIT FM so
Ozioma
Sly now what is saying when be any akwam Benjamin Emmanuel Epson Ben Epson Daily Dispatch and then there was a what defended Ayope for the anti-Islam comments and to obuza say who what defended here Alan so be condemn and now be defended. What are your thoughts?
Hey, ADAKABRI. And if I am to na kroemu. Ben Epson, ya madam Fupa, and then we are my friend. The GDP say the true story the bread no so edit ya o publish here no. O mo name ti ase conversation na e koso no.
Also ko free Ghana web.
Yes, now offer story in Ghana web. The OTA conversation here any baby the genesis of this whole thing. Me na ebisa me say the IEP can discussion. I'm saying IEP can say. What has IEP done? Ne papa moi. We should have condemned the conduct of the young lady for this private conversation no ever too abonting. The Etosumi no nipa or true story out of that private conversation. It see so say IEP say na yen to abama baumia because he's a Muslim. That is unfortunate. And these are two things that I said. And indeed, I stand by it. Honorable IFP had not done anything untoward. Me, Adakabri, me third elections I'm contesting, and it's not a parliament. Any time NPP, they call elections, you want template, you have selected candidate. They do what we scout candidates. And there are many parameters that party consider. Demographics, ethnicity, religion, these are matters that nobody in NPP can say when we are making the choice for a candidate, whether parliamentary or presidential, it doesn't feature. And it's opinion in young MPP in common for a specific matter any year wanting and would be 12 wanting and amplify it. That is the Wukra na that religion or idea was the you are amplifying it. Adakabre, I research a whole Kruma, and one of the researchers actually said Ghana for a battle from 92, 40% about on the basis of religion. And also, you go and fault them. The search for a flag bearer for this country, being sure the matters of ethnicity, matters of religion, matters of competence, and feature. It will feature. It's a normal. This has been a private conversation. Now say a Tristan. Now you're seeking to disgrace him. I don't think that fair for a political discussion. On that same platform, maybe I say, if all people are saying say we should look for competence without balance in terms of ethnicity, religion, and other factors in there. And here we flag bearer from Cape Coast. The flag bearer is at liberty to be running made from Cape Coast. It is not for nothing. And from 1996, MPP flag bearer, who is a Christian, will select a Muslim as a running mate. It is to satisfy an ethnic and religious inclinations in this country. So why? It's in India. I made this point to buttress the fact that Honorable Ayepe never said, don't vote for Dr. Bawumia because he's a Muslim. He never said so. And the twist they've given to the private conversation they had, and I mean, it's unfortunate.
It is this idea of say, yedi obi no obi private conversation, ebeba abontene abe amplify no. What do you think is happening?
I think, sir, and yet at the papa. Now, Obi or better benefited from that, the Ano should bow down his head in shame. Because, Mimi Fwaso, say, many Obi Ukwamun Komo. Now, I also be given 2 abonting. Now, you gain political advantage in here. Me Fwaso. And me now, Mimi Bo Alan Etidom. There will be private conversation, me. Maybe I meet any conversation in the public domain, I will condemn it and I will never amplify
it. It is now to go to public and by extension, Daily Dispatch. At the other was who would defend the IEP, you know. Diana, Daily Dispatch, who's also worried.
Oh, well, I think Daily Dispatch from the one take a position in the MPP internal elections. And I'm not surprised. They're bedestined. Paper no because the one taking position, they've declared their stance for one of the candidates. So what they are doing is an extension of their campaign, but she will not see the light of day.
Now, Osan extended echo Alan Chematin say, will Alan condemn it? And also so.
Now Alan uncondemning me and me explaining and then another uncondemning Nipa or the private conversation about it. If it's about a person who brought a private conversation outside India, I will support them that Alan must condemn that.
Name or no say Alan and condemn anti-Islam comments against Bawumiano. And also
there's never any anti-Islam comment anywhere. There isn't. Look, I'm saying, Adakabre, any elections beyond even MPP internal primaries, no element of religion, it will feature. So people should praise themselves.
Intisenka, Dr. Baumia Kran, the Baba flag bearer, or consider religion in selecting the running mate.
Exactly. It's often said, let's study. In unlikely event that Dr. Baumia becomes the flag bearer of this country, he will select a Muslim. You think that religion doesn't matter in the consideration of who leads us in this country? Dr. Baumia became a running mate to Nanado because one, he's a Muslim.
And idea also will be shy away from it.
Why should you shy away from it? It will feature prominently in the national election. Look, former President Mahama, Assemblies of God. Nanado is an Anglican.
Yes.
Didn't he feature in the last election? President Gufo, Obiadim is a Catholic. Former President, the late former President, President Rollins was a Catholic. He featured prominently in our politics in this country. So I don't see why you can't religion and somebody should be angry.
It's the purpose of being and a mischief of being and every say such publications in the pages of a daily dispatch. No, warm person a cure.
Like yes, the way one person, yes, I can understand them there. Or they can push that religion doesn't matter in the selection of a leader. Yes, it's their right to push. But it does not also support anybody to make a consideration there. So you're true about Ghana. 71% of your population are leaning towards it. Therefore, when you select a candidate from among them, it makes your success much easier. So I mean, the people can make all this inclination, but the decision rests with the delegate to make.
Finally, just before you go, Honorable Member of Parliament for English, a man from Botiano, Sylvester Tete. Sly, for what reason would you want to tell us? In Tia MPP in 1992, Professor Dubois, Ochusu Roland Al-Hassan as a running mate. Then in 96, Kofuor for the Progressive Great Alliance in Tema Ochusu Aka, but subsequently, no, Obebe Chusu Alhaji Aliu Mahama, the late, na a Chile Susono, another Danko Kufuado, or no Susuba, ya, de, or Salete, Alhaji, Mama Dubaumia.
It goes to underscore the point now, making it there. We consider religion in the selection of our leadership. You consider MPP as a party. The trajectory you just mentioned, it tells you that in the MPP, we respect religious views and we consider them in the making a choice for our leadership in this country.
Because the only timer a year NDC for a year Muslim Ababe running mate was a year Mumuni Kumbungu Mumuni other than that, no, every time NDC for Enchusu a Muslim as a running mate.
Now Uhian ADAKABRI WikiLeaks difficulty and then the General Secretary of the NDC on my reasons why they've never chosen a Muslim as their flag bearer. And these are public knowledge. It's a minute here. We should say, in the MPP from 1992, we've shown that any Muslims, and it's part of our subculture or subconsciousness that we have to bring them along. Me, a Muslim, me, a Christian. But my dealings in my constituency, there are Muslims I work with. It doesn't change anything.
Because
I'm making
in 1979, a year flag bearership race, Victor Owusu, Kwabnapie, and Alhaji Yakubu Tali Tolona, and a contest here. One contest we now Victor Owusu beat Tolona. Subsequently, no, the Tolona a running mate. So the presupposition is that a Tolona a winning for the Victor Owusu and running mate.
Exactly. So it means that the MPP as a party or any major political party in this country can never make a decision without religious consideration.
Right. We leave it here. Honorable Member for English, a man from Botiano, Sylvester Tete. Yeah, there was a pa. Right. Kabra.
Ofa. Nipano ne I pay na chat.
Omo chat.
Anna, but in conversation, no one more one fa Alan Diamem.
Debbie.
Nti one dear, dear Ben Efson, a bisa, Sir Alan Becca, ho dear, no dear. And no dear, na offer your kukuamun como, wahu, a ubi private conversation. Ya, umu edi. And na abetra bonting. A private and comma umu die, and na abetra bonting. Of a once ya, abetra bonting ya, a man sign. Can't be no. I will plead with honorable Ayepe say, and Kwampa Ompacho.
Ompa Whitechow.
Of one we say, dear Oka woman say, Muslim Nina Udinechino.
Ubusa question now. What busa question? A question said the busa question. So, okay, say question be why you musa.
Of Ameba, Muslim Nina Udinechino. Aye, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and a Udinechino. Ofa Adentina, as I say, Ubisasa, because as I say, one say, Sabi, and sooner Brona Suno Docono, and sooner be Babana Sunu Fuse Naba. Ya man your samnoa yeno. Yam fa a suma will be some, and now baby I will be free. And find a nipe dinechi, any nipe ninechi, and to offer.
The question
excuse me to say,
what judging, yes, sir.
Excuse me to say, Ononyam for Alan Kojochramante. Some Muslims dinechi. And to obin so baby say, Adentina Alan Tramanti or ye Christo ni. Muslimif wo mudinechi. As I saw obin so be sasa.
Establish say obi busa questioner.
Good.
Question ubusa questioner.
Good.
Now why what conclude bibi ana?
Of anyade.
Or ubusa questioner.
Anyade.
Mienkuyachi, mienkonkohwe. And komo bebrea ubedi no privately no.
Yeah.
Ye ka se brabonten, brabeka nka beka.
And na make say ofa, ye say ade ne ye private and na abeto abonten.
Dabio. Abeto abonten no why en more a pen say general. Why am I and come ben na wo ni privately a fair. Some me no be din come privately. Na me de be ba bonten abeka say na kwabena kan na me de me WhatsApp chat abeka say monhwe question na kwabena ene me asem obusa me o.
Of one say me ne wo nkomodie no. Enka me ni me ti wudi. Ofase ye di nkomo. Me ti wudi. Enti one say enkomo bi kura wo ho a eye wo pe na me fra wa me ni wudi. It tells you some trust you. And now come on, me new dear no. Abetoja.
Abetoja say back me na me diako.
Okay, who would diako?
E diako pe nimfe.
And diako pen you nyam. Ewo baby. And na asam no a me ni wudi na abetoja no a wodi akokere no. Abeto abonten.
Because me di abeto abonten.
Wodi abeto abonten mo. Offer enam say asam no nya denti. First, me pacho. But mepa obi a ekoti ano no. Mepa ne chaw but wo offer. And next time, me ni woni nkomo bio.
Enti ade chese so obi adi nkomo.
Offer me ba enkomo no de wo betu ye.
Obi no ka asam okoko mu ana odi akogina bonten. E de ko sopa no anya fair.
But offer me say
young lady no.
Good.
Mama Musa was in kakra. Young lady be no o my women. Me afen jimama yele. What in dinda?
Offer ma tekura bi amini.
Aha. Ya akone kokobusa say eneji mama yale no dia no yeye. Na strong wo de busa.
Offer dan bi kura na wo kana se wa ha. Emma ye hu nkoma.
Ewra no or a young woman na uma e fa so say yankonko ye obi bibi sana enya de papa iti jimama yele no ensem oka ye ne ekodrum empanifuo bi so a eventually intermediate the empesa me can say obi no di nkomo privately a private conversation enye ade a ye de ba abonten to be come back akwa say BBC interview Margaret Thatcher awie na say na mic no na omi mute mic no ene omi ye ya na Margaret Thatcher ye comments bi tia ne crop no do ye comments no ene ba abonten BBC momu na ho kire no say ene no be free so can be private na mantimi am filter ma aba abonten it when the person does not wish to make certain comments publicly now all your comments private between me now now no would be abonten
what find American abeto abonten
would you abeto abonten cause abeto abonten cause abeto abonten
would you abeto abonten would the beto abonten no
person can abonten can mekan
good but would you abeto abonten no ekwotia me because of what we say sentia yaman yosem no yemfa sa ebusua ne ensoni titemu mfa mmemu ne se ya de ye ho moziremi ni wale kristoni ubekwa adwuma moziremi wo ho kristoni wo ho enti obi nso ebetumi abisa se adanti na wonso woye moziremi ni na wuti alan kodo kiremanti ati
abusa private na abusa private
ti sanka obi nso na bisa asa ena beto abonten a ofanka de mi kensa na
kama beto
abonten
me chese me ne wo ye discussions ye WhatsApp so na wo
me de beto abonten
wo ubusa me say eh na ye den na Abubakar Boniface Sadiq oye kremoni nansu odi kirematen achi e wo busame a na mimi brichi na me de beto abonten a ade na wase obi bebe hawo say wo busame question say na ye den na Abubakar Sadiq oye kremoni ade na odi kirematen achi wo busa we ya wo busa de nwanwa bi
because wofa eye sensitive kakra
babina nyi so mane taso mane mon
you don't have to
public di no umusa
but abeto
why na de beto dwa
nipa no a woni ni di nkomo ne de abeto
enti anya fair condemn
yes me anna me ka say it's not nice so when you be di nkomo na abeto dwa but abeto dwa
na odi abeto dwa
you have to as I say apologize
and what can I say some people even record conversations and those are the dangerous ones
yes
when me di nkomo under no circumstance na say wo kwabena na me di nkomo
na me di abeto abonti
ade akura ne say o say na obi ye comments bi obi di nkomo wa akire ena na me ne mensa bonsu di nkomo ena obuza say obi na edi nkomo yi say na so oye no so na ye kwabena am so da bi nya kwabena
that's it
because nipa na odi nkomo no in as much as na nya kwabena no nipa no did not intend to say na opese den e ba abontene
so from now onwards
it always protect confidentialities
yes learn to know whom to trust
exactly and unia so bo bra obi no ka asem under the auspices say a private and fan konko gina baabi en ko ka say wonhwe o say na we kura kan
yeah e breach a trust ya
wo ma de koma wo na de kopenim fe no wo kura they won't trust you
yeah
na no na woni your opponent na kasa na otimi nya ye de be kire ye ne a the same way baby awo no almost be say dey ya mo me hwe awura we you na fan hwe adako no
ofa nipa no a wode ade no beto abonten ne de wanya ade esan say obi kukuwa mu nkomo a woni wudi but asem no abeto abonten ode abeto abonten no so enya de
ma ye ne honorable former member of parliament for ayensua no eni nkomo kakra na ye hwe say wo chopa na wo hwehwe no ene oba be pasa a che na na honorable Sam ayo ope yamu ache edobani TFM so you now what to say you ye de wase enne na Daily Dispatch was so a story be free Ghana web and I will also be amplify was a republishing or say MPP MP defense Alan coordinators anti-Islam comments against Bawumia and oppose to a question will Alan condemn it what that rumo honorable you pay anti-Islamic comments be na we tia Dr. Bawumia
no medical HCR work people many comments, yeah, so serious, Islam, and the Sabawia. Ubia, one dance maker. So on Pambra, say, Makujina baby, Akata, Makujina red to be so, and I say, Maka, what platform this is. About where be minimum the personal, but that FCC stands things members. Now, Mr. Woman, coordinator for Alan, our Eastern region. Into be a person, evaluate our camper, which is not Brian on our social media campaign. I am a long-term friend, our social media, so about personal minimum, and minimum aiding for one, and another analysis, analyzing the Christian population in Ghana and Muslim population as published by the Statistical Service. The Muslim population is 17%, and the Christian is 71%. Let me be better. The Ghana CDD, and the other job was 40% of Ghanaians are based on religious and tribal lines. It's the Baumia as a Muslim, no, the enforced saying that statistically 71% Christians, and the Mubani, I have prepared. No, about 12 and a Muslim leader, a Mahmoud Baumia. And Muslims by him, and I don't say, it's any fair Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, a Muslim 17% Muslim population, a Mubani, and Yaya research, I would say, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, religious number to Obama, because they are using NDC winning of most of the local communities in the country. So, Dr. Baumia, a bit changes our trend, Nana. I am for many reality on social media or on the private inbox and on the screenshot to the background thing. Man can attempt that would make screenshots in reality Abana. Now more but that will be a ding. And a man can send young Muslim. I was looking at the numerical strength of a Muslim that is the numerical strength of Christian. Man can say or somebody be a papa to me. A being yet we are Muslim who's made by your president. I didn't say that in any of my comments. As soon as I can say the numerical strength of a Muslim as compared to the numerical strength of Christians in this country. And because Dr. Baumia understands very well there. 2024 religion will be part of our campaign issue. It will be sure this time, or that book concerning and they are so for the idea. So the question is there. We are all young, and that's not well, and more Christians as well. As a part, you must analyze this, you must understand it. I think I have to really that. I can't make any. Quotation say, I am the Eastern Regional Coordinator for Alan and have toured the whole region. Everywhere you go, they say they want Alan because he's a Christian, and the churches say they will vote for him. I don't have any problem against Dr. Baumia or a campaign against him, but assessment on the grounds which I have always been speaking on it. So I will say, a him and Yakofasa quotation we a the best story mo. Who catch the Urano and that's a subject. I mean that's story I working. I don't have a discussions with me. And yeah, trim. No, and now a Urano and yet we have no one thing. And the issue statement. Because a Urano Christian someone said, me not get that. Well, issues. It was a twisted story. It's not about one thing. That's correct. This story. Okay, can really lead them about one thing now. We can't say. Oh, be a sorry Muslim. Sorry Christian. But I don't be that twisted story I made it about. Yeah, I rather bet you one thing. Oh, be a no the manager. But still, I am my make a check. I'm not the numerical strength of Christians versus Muslims. It in the second paragraph of the story, you know.
Or say a leaked WhatsApp conversation captured the former MP allegedly discouraging someone not to vote for Bawumia as a flag bearer of the MPP on grounds that he is a Muslim. They say, I don't say, Onwura, Yayina Frimukula, na Fedia, what dear now, the bet, who explain explanation at the Bible, and you're happy on it. Say now, okay. And how do you feel?
Debbie, I'm not saying I'm a party. As you said, will be the story about one thing. Now, what's the answer? And the son, I never know the story about one thing. Then, very kind of not possible. I can't say my cousin. Yeah, the moment let me weigh the numerical strength of Muslims in country and that of Christians. And many kind of make CBD report for the Bible and saying that the
na uko American politics mukura na wakwa kubusa ho Barack Obama edie ne man ne middle name Hussein no oyifri hodom politically die na Obama ehwehwe ntia ne middle name Hussein oyifri ho ene Ghana kura yetie no political pundits want you to believe say adenti and Dr. Bawumia and need Alaji young fan so na nsem fama no abro Alaji Mama Bawumia ayanka Alaji no
ADAKABRI me religious say me papa ni passion Debbie me that type of thing. Two, remember Ghana put your thing and say your pool 2024. Yeah, the Alhaji Dr. Bawumia campaign the religious sector. Never saw that assembly better. The media better you know na at the party we take decision.
Right. Sama you pay. Yadwasipa. I pay so the comments are the abanono on Facebook Live. You said this one na kwabnasi ya yehwe wan yi. Omo enu mudi nkomo a omo de betra abonten no. Yehwe omu yi.
Over yehwe omu yi. Aside that so you bet to me aka obi ne success ne failure e dey a campaign ni ade. But offer yenim say when it comes to ekuro any ensoni any idea nipa no edom bi te say Christian Muslims rafreni dagatini fantini are very sensitive omunyim free omu campaign mu because emwa nti wo patre say oye say nti yet man kwan no obedi party nanimu a enye yi a ene so ukoyi obi a onye saa na wo expect say sankofo no medi wati ana na wo ka the same nso tralantremanten say because of oye Christian enti eni kwan say ye ma no kwan ya na ukoyi flag bearer wono nso ye Muslim a na wo expect say Christians medi neti ana eno die offer asamu nyada quickly no one can enter and yet they shouldn't any kwan say bem and even krano Ghana Statistical Service for some koye survey nu wi a ebi wo ho a survey ni bi wo ho a moma no nka montem. Don't bring it out because I am very sensitive. Yes, when it comes to Christian Muslim sanioma no a na we bedi animu ayebeto we bedi animu ayanto say asumesi bedi ayebeto asumesi bedi a I am very sensitive. Don't bring it out. Just keep it because abusuanti temu and sonin titemu any adeno emwaye. Don't bring it out at all.
PURC assumptions on energy mix generation for 2023 tariff review baseless. IES na Institute of Energy Security for Anna Womo Kasa say na namu esi otoso miensa executive director Energy Institute of Energy Security yankwe na the baseless abamu die na wo hunu say baby e dey asabe koko nana yamwachi o mi nana
Major ADAKABRI the chairman of the with American.
Yeah, Jodo.
Ultimate of the Eastern mentor the
Okay, the 7th. Okay, BII. Okay, now we see today as soon.
and also Institute for Energy Security.
Right. You Nana the was papa. Now Obandan Niyehu headline PURC assumptions on energy mix generation for 2023 tariff review baseless. Nana Banasam no abe you.
Yo, and I pay yes, what I was saying. What the kind and now be a baby no one in a dog for the year. Now about that here where what type of adjustment take. Unyama 9 na was share the woods na the was I was share didn't now one thing yeah American dollar was share me manyama what to move nor inflation now was share gas all in my generating plants from the different sources or baby we are never by today. We in them kind of in Sujumem or your height so how much to contribute to the generation of the minimum running another. Now ADAKABRI question in the Ghana you were two sources are yen in China coffee predominantly. Although the will be renewable, Nikas Nara Ofi thermal salt another hydro. Yeka thermal and one in Surina was the gas, now was the fuel oil, what generated heat, now was true that was in them kind of what the Mayan. They were hydrate on the stove, a custom bowl we own. And what the soup, no, what the fuel, what the generator is a Mayan. Now, or your infinite, or your height, no one, or full crab saying, there, yeah, your thermal, your cotton, fuel oil, natural gas, and not light crude oil, your digestion, or your hydrogen cheaper. Instead, but then put the two together in the mix of fuel. A big year, or your natural gas, natural sources of a cost in the mix. The thing is, put to crewman. As hydro, no, not today, aggregating, bomode, tariff, but the hydro generates debris, so contribute to the energy mix of Wama. Life is never overfull. You see, my young day, oh yeah, and I said, yeah, PRCA. Or project today, it can, we now go in the mix now. Hydro will generate just around 26%. Not sure that thermal, okay, it's about 73% thereabout. Renewable energy is just around 1%. Now, say, thermal doors, amazing Kamakan, not sure that AM kind of one or Bokosho will stand there. We use the expensive pipe or sort of fuel, or yeah, fuel oil and natural gas, including the others. The engine at the pure now to 26% for hydrogen. In the year, on ye. Oh, yeah, inflation now, even depreciation is there. We all know that it's what it is. In a year, more cotton. Nemo Ghana photo to 1 year. The Akoso to may generate that mine. And now the thermal box to may generate that mine. A singing young in crafting. Oh, yeah, abandoned crafting. Oh, yeah, Energy Commission. Yakafa will have reports in Iraq. They that no yet said can be done. Or your hydrogen. About to may generate close to 38% or 100 is your sour tree. Instead of 26% of her stream is you know is one is Yana peers worker. The engine are doing Namama that you saw, you have a contract any most of Naya to come on.
Eti way nana upasa Ghana yetia yamfanye diabenia.
All day PRC containers thing. No more biara or time call, no drawing board no non-conscious previous record. I did that or one gin. I don't for underneath the ABR hydro sources or yeah, custom book we bon ABR machine said into one to engage madam or what. If you want to do this today, I feel in soup on top of it. My way to die, it's more factor. Further and better particulars obey here. Nemo, senior yes, young cat, my main said the being young fatting per month. I acquired ADAKABRI. 2019. Mefa we water level. Mefa in fact on Mefa. At the beginning of the year, no, we level na going back at it was around 176.97 meters above sea level. In the country at the beginning of the year, we our water level or elevation or 178.99, about 2 meters difference compared to 2019. And so 2019, or to me generate or the Akosombo na Bontama, when you now would generate 40% in the energy mix. The same 2019, we at a point was believed one issue, not a one no Shrama or the what will be what you go. Even though in the height compared to that time, in the upward crime will completely not sure that in the way is in a better position to produce more power. Maybe bring change. Akosum also 2019. Now our water level at the start of the year 79.81 meters. In the 83.10 meters. A difference of roughly 3.3 meters. Well, boy, compared to the beginning of the year for 2019, Akosumbo 79.81 of what will generate 40% of the total generation from hydro. Not sure that in the fuel hydro source we using or in Suno on Yena or very good elevation over to generate more. In the year, what kind of run Akosumbo, even all the first lines are possible. What kind of run 3 units of we are in the situation for yesterday in February and then I bet in Korea, to generate 40% up and then now fee. Yes, I'm sort of to be generated yes, 20%. Not sure. We are giving priority to the thermal. Meanwhile, thermal sources are expensive as compared to the hydro. In the moment, when you want to know about thermal with the ungenerated more, not sure that I am watching the Pedagana for would see more. The Pedagana performs that. Tariff never perform. No, they will use the hydro sources, the more.
It is here no ultimately the more how does it pan out with a new increase of 29% on electricity?
So TRC and again for deploy and over dispatch hydro systems no more. Yes, we have 29.99% increase of above. and your brand 20-22%. Oh, yeah. Obama Ghana for welcome ago Sunday. So, oh, yeah, 2% in far. Savio, oh, yeah, one share in the ATM on the phone. Why was the tariff from home? On to some and nine. A J2. A so about to me in I nation, crime biado, in Yama City or the Watson. Ama, in one what generates power the million so I yakao, Madachi, and Badakao, and Bayakawa Magana Pro. Yet it's never on your 29.99% now with them again. So what's the point? Assumptions now we see now. By any say, tariff of above.
Nana dear, young fancy, I say, not young she say a expert advice here, Modiba, because say, P. as if for the far. So, some comedy can more Cassan Sananka, or message. I
know what thing kind share civil sites in the media. What about what you say? The variable the use. Nemo, maybe the word that percentage. I'm not that percentage in the in the that way. Yeah, we are the one the crime being the in that one share from back. Yeah, my one to say. Nah, was so the time what for him was what caution was modeling why any nah, never Zamagana.
Joe. Nana, I'm going to say, or today, as soon as there was papa. Right. Institute of Energy Security and Executive Director, and I'm going to say, Otosunso, Yanino Edim Komo, Gusuneti and it 100.9 FM Musa and Cecilia Mafo, Walker Eddie Etching, Ugusuti and it 100.9 FM. Time just about gone 14 minutes past 8 the morning of Thursday, January 19, 2023. In the studios this morning, Ura Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics. Now, Yanibidin come more extensively on the new run of polls. The last time Omudi poll by was October 2022, and this time round, January 2023. And now Omudi Aba. The woman you know, ebe pensi one of Kwabra.
Yo. Abusia for the Bokata me de ebe daily post the Bokata. Now what the Bokata fair toss me and son what say and this ya manyoku ebra wo de beto aba eyi wa franka tufo ne mrase bedafo de no wo de ni nyina beto abonten na frank bera sepono de ade no aye nkwa agina ne yebua mahama fa ewom se nipa bi contest but womu dia no dia nsa da anya contest bia sa contest ya emu antin ya na se esanse candidate ya ka woni nyina se Dr. Kwabenadufuo si owura kojobo nsuo sankofo nyina His Excellency John Dramani Mahama woso womu a womo kashire enti womu nyina de ya testing my try 1 2 but womu dia ba what I say parliamentary candidate 2024 elections no better place was Saturday 13th May the day nim yayi enti say no mo ye timetable no womu di aba obetumi akopeke forms womu di the website yaba eda wuku ada February ne da toso aduonu mienu ade kosi fi ada February ne da toso aduonu nan obe submit forms no eda tuada Yamate de tosu aduonu ade akosi wuku ada mate ne de tosu aduonu mienu sei ene wo mayanse se no ene ye parliamentary de enti parliamentary candidate fo no moye ne se nkakra okwa akopeke forms no akai 5,000 Ghana cedis ena wo ko submit ya 40,000 Ghana cedis enti check ho hwe ansa na obekọ akofa wakọ akofa na eba no president de no a president de no krampo enra NDC amanyo konkura bata Greater Accra region eka wo mu bomu eka former president John Dramani Mahama wo se ne de no kura de memo ha no wo mu abekọ akoto wo mu ade bebre no wɔn mu apɛsi wɔ gyina deɛ deɛ wɔn mu hia ne so wɔbɛgye atum sɛ ne mɛkɔ deɛ aka nyinaa wɔntum no wɔnda wɔn mu bɛyɛ adwuma no nyinaa de ama no forms no ɛne bere a wɔn de bɛto aba no wɔbu ho akontaa de aba nkakra sɛ da wei ne da wei ɛna wɔn mu bɛto wɔn mu aba na MPP amanyɔkuo executives wɔn mu to nsa ɛde frɛ sikasɛm soafoɔ kan wɔfori ata ɛwɔ party headquarters na yɛn nkitahudi a wɔn di wɔn kyerɛ sɛ first paa no nkitahudi no a na ɛda aban no ɛne party ne ntɛm no emu te yakora na ayi bia anim nkitahudi bia anim ne saa wonti wɔpɛ so wɔbrɛgye saa gaabo no enti saa gaabo no ɛne wasase a wɔto nsa de frɛ mpanimfoɔ a mata enti wɔtwa wɔn mfoni abɛtoa owura asɛmra yɛn so ntim wɔhyɛ ne suit ɛne wɔne kan wɔfori atagyina ha wɔn de wɔn bɔ ho ɛna Justin Kwandi Afrimpong ɔne deɛ wate ne ho ɔwɔ soro wɔ no wɔn pɛ so wɔbɛbɛɛ wɔn wate ne ho ɔwɔ soro ɛna executives nkaeɛ ne nyinaa nso Kate Jemfu anso Kate nso no wɔ ni ha no ɔno nso wɔn pɛ ne ho asɛm enti wɔn mu ka kyerɛ no nyamfoɔ ka no wɔfori ata sɛ bond holders no a ɛyɛ pensioners ne deɛ na dawroma wɔnyi wɔn mfiri ne tumadi a wɔpɛ so wɔdie no mu esan sɛ sankɔfoɔ wei sɛ woka sɛ wode wɔn nsa akɔ wɔn sika pɛ asɛm na wopɛ sɛ ato wɔn ntu wɔn srɛ no adawroma wɔnyi sankɔfoɔ no nyinaa emfiri mu na wɔn asetena mu kuro mu ɛmɔbɔ wɔde ho asɛm aba na National Cathedral Board no wɔn gu so resign aka nipa kakra bi board members aka ɛyɛ Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams ɔno da ha ɛna me papa Dr. Apostle Opokuo nyina ɔno nso ɛda soro ha no sei ɛna papa yi wɔde Charles Palmer Bakal ɔno nso ɛda ha ɛna wɔde Eastwood Anaba ɔno nso mfoni abɛtoa enti so far board no wɔn aka wɔ so nie na ɛyɛ Honorable Sam George ɛna wɔde adesrɛdeɛ ma saa mpanimfoɔ yi sɛ wɔn resign free board no so anya saa aban wei ebegu wɔn anim ase ɛma edin a wɔn ante ne abrabɔ a wɔn abɔ no yɛde wɔn ani onyam ɛde betutiri fam enti wɔn nyi wɔn ho mfiri mu Honorable Giselle Tete Agbochi ɔyɛ mmarahyɛbadwani a ogyina mu adesi awutu senya west na maame wɔn sisi ne na yɛ sanse Director of Communication Presidency Yujiahi wɔne no bɛfe so wɔ constituency wɔn mo paama na hu sɛ yes abranteɛ no ɛba na wɔwura Johnson Esiedu Nkatia ɛwɔ Chronic Democrat enim wɔn sɛ ya microphone bebree sisi n'anim ɛyɛ ne da asɛm a esi yɛ no a maame bi san ha no sɛ wɔku no ho ɛna ne ba mu a watetere akwadaa ne nsa ɛna wasan de ahoma asan akwadaa no nso kɔn a waku akwadaa no nso wɔ ha enti maame ne san me nsa benkum so ɛna akwadaa ketewa a wɔnim hwee no wɔno nso waku no ɔno nso yasan no the same thing ɛna ɔno nso ɛwɔ ha no sɛ MPA wɔn de sentence bi ade bɛma OMCC no ɛno ho asɛm wɔ ha mokyerɛman yɛso wadi sika 77,000 Ghana cedis ya mokyerɛman a wadie ɛyɛ aban sika nti yɛgye sika na firi ne nkyɛn the same thing ɛna Democrat the New Crusading Guide sɔfoɔ kyerɛ abosom ɛna wɔkeka bi kyerɛ NDC ne MPP sɛ wɔn nyinaa bɛkorɔ nsa wɔn bɛtena akonnwa si yɛn ho bra papa bi a wɔn bɔɔyɛ enti saa deɛ a yɛnyi wɔn mu mfiri wɔ na yɛmfa wɔn kyerɛ abosom mmra afei aban kyerɛ sɛ okɔ apiatia ɛdan no wɔwie 124 enti adesie betumi atenam afterfoɔ wɔn nso maame yɛsrɛ owusu ɛkwan ɔbɛfa so a wɔbɛdi wɔn tuma no ɛwɔ ha daily dispatch ha ononyamfoɔ Alan Kojo Kyerɛmante daakye hene wɔdaa nom sɛ wasa ne space fɛfɛɛfɛ ne ho ɛfɛ paa ɛna His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ɔno nso ɛda ase ha na saa asɛm yi ebe ye ya wo fa di ho nkomonti me nse da enkoso bebre NDC for presidential primaries no eye May 13th telegraphic democrat enim ha womu ntu ato no ye de womu be famra kwa so afei technical team omu ye review e de amabon holders asika asɛm no aposifo nso yiri security mu tele statement enim ha Kristalina Jajeva IMF managing director we na ne da me sre ne se ebetumi anka IMF mamu mu ma yeske bia no mu ma ya yebedi no ono no ode ne mfoni abeto ai and what say growth 2023 de obi ankope bet mo ebe slow down kura ye be asa de ye come at pass no ye gina hono mu afa ako NDC appear to construction no ni nyina wa ha ena sofo bi a ye de na to afiase eno nso ewa ha na wofa ene papa atnase ba ko amedi wie Ghana Revenue Authority the bureaucrat kire se wuta wani akose Ghana Revenue Authority boss wa ene adwuma a wo mu ye wo ho a se wo pe ba bi akata asese ne proye ewo pa wo de afi wani kire Ghana Revenue Authority wo ba kwa akohu se emu akuku dam emu honorables maximum eho na eguo MP asem no ni nyina nso ewa ha womu a womu de womu spam eko na womu kwa akwaji sika no eno nso de bureaucrat de ho asem aba afi abrante keche na yire keche ye musician wono na woto you dey give me pressure now I don't tire ahụtara banana nana scrubadum so you don't give me pressure scrubadum na yire ya friend Joanna Jan Kujo okwa akogina Amemfi Central yeso wo sika se aburo wo ye billionaire ebunu sise tam okwa akopre sebeja akunya over a yes na
right. It needs 100.9 FM na uti Ghana MONTIE jumedi and the Bremono. A round of information from the various newspapers and some and such chairman, Staff Sergeant Kwabramafo. But to me at the Abra still to come. A global info analytics, almost the new round of survey at the Aba. Executive Director Musa Dankwa is in the studios. Now intimate in Ninkomo. Eka Kantigus needs 100.9 FM.
List ni nie enyoma beto to dia me baba no ho ade no hwem so betumi a asew na obeka ya jontuma miensa duku potomanto this way chocolate drink na kan wo hwe afibian so beri ni waware ni a this way chocolate drink na kan sia asew udan kawanu ntumu ho me be mo anu nso hye kura de aka ho wo hade wapi ho o ka sabatete eda fom ho this way chocolate drink
kra cha be pe baba aware
asew
ye fi ase this way chocolate drink ya sori anopa no ne yenom ye bi hye fridge nom no se snack ye nya hoho anu ne de serve wo mo ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a this way chocolate drink ne yenom and this way no ti anu a he se kire wom kwakwo wom prick wom bibia wom ade wo hia ne so se
this way chocolate drink
de wo hia ani so se
FDA ahwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atom se eye
Cool, fresh and trendy with a no look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Ernesto Poku Jr. and it's yetie dear Radi aye in the medley and or the MI. Back to the studios and such a handsome man. Miami ni Musa Dankwa ena watnase a yene no bedi nkomo no data ye mo watnase na anopa ho te sen
nyanyadom
hoye global info analytics adwumayefo nyina so ho te sen
nyanyadom be nyina ye hoye
right and Thursday January 19 2023 na yatnase sabre we say no na yene ura Musa Dankwa, one executive director, Global Info Analytics. Now, between the period January 1 to January 15, 2023, they collected data survey. Now, moon somewhere a dead, and you know, every drink home. Now, you say, right, to that, I see a chair with the last time Global Info Analytics Modi survey by was in October 2022, and this time around, we have a January 2023. Yeni can hear methodology. When I'm fast some of the year any approach a free mu ebae.
Yo mida senior kwenya na mamena listeners for.
Ano ama ne so kakra mame.
Yo be share listeners for na also Global Info. Team where a team a mo adwuma form volunteers no. Eche o nyina from Ashanti region, Greater Accra region, all the way to Narugu, Bibia, Michelle Mina. They did a very fantastic job this time around. We have even improved our methodology in terms of how we collect, how we analyze it. This time, they interviewed about 5,844. This is the highest sample we've ever taken since we started. Last year, this is the highest number that year. Now, you decide the sample size, and it came out all the regions, based on total number of voters or more region.
It is a proportionally.
You can't say, you interview 30% of constituencies in each region.
Of the 16 regions,
yes. 30% of the 275 constituencies. At this time around, in Ashanti region, if Ashanti number apply 30% to her.
Okay.
If Accra, apply 30%. If Bunua, apply 30%. Number now obehunu 30% of constituencies in each region.
Nature Asante say 47 constituencies, you use 30% of the 47.
Sanity. So that you have uniformity in terms of proportion across.
Eventually, you be how many constituencies?
82.
82.
Yes, this time around.
That is less than the previous 85.
No, there is 75.
75 rather.
Akosoro
to 82.
Yes.
Now, margin of error no so
1.74%.
Okay, previously 1.
The same. We are maintaining the same margin of error. Slightly, so we are the same kind of margin of error. Now,
didn't they inform me this time approach of selecting 30% of respective constituencies in the various regions?
Previously, no. It take 25% of all the 275. Now, a year, we have realized sometimes, Accra, in terms of numbers, but the actual number of people we interview, doesn't change. In some cases, you share a sample to a very large number of constituencies, and also amount very good quality data. We applied 30% now. We will narrow down the sample allocation these 30%, which will be in the same proportion. It gives us a room, say every area we will pick, have a good sample size to be able to make inferences from it.
Okay, and the inferences are more likely to be accurate.
Exactly.
Okay. Musa Dankwa, ordinary executive director of the Global Info Analytics. Say, quality data, no more data, no more can data, no BBI data, and no more the sample, but so more a process, inferences amunya responses to free mobile no and I need right until this time over 8,000 respondents no emusa na ye man emusa na ye mema ye demographics na
demographics no 47% ma and 53% mema
na maso do so se mema o Ghana
dabi sisa
asesa and side community bi this time mema do so se ma hey
according to GSS statistics yes
and
about 49 point something almost 50 points
mema na drew 50 point something move upwards from 49 no
yes
and mema no a man move downwards from 51 no they about 49 point something into this time run I reflect say respondents no omono din komo no 47% ma and 53%. That is, we should not forget to say nipa dodo amono omukasa ye nyina no 5,844 into sa we say nipa dodo no there fatu trim 5844 sa 5844 no and ye kan nyina no afeto om 5844 no emu 47% na ye ma and emu 53% into age groupings no so no chechim kakra che ne
age group no omo interview no 7% omo di between 16 years and 8 and obeka say ana o interview omo di 16 some of them on to aba ebi ye was a year no by 2024 no mbeso se mbeto aba
eligibility no
yes
at 16 now no
yes beka omo ti pese omo adwen it will help us to understand the nation dynamics
dynamics kana no ahye so say 5844 5,844 no emu 7% and the age bracket of 16 to 18
yes
and afeyentu aswe
omo di 18 to 24 16% 29% 25 34 and 34 to 44 24%. 45 to 54 14%. 55 to 64 7. Now above 64 4%. It's a bell shape.
Yes.
It reflects largely the structure of Ghana's population.
Okay. And no doubt there a year 25 to 34 and 35 to 44 no. Omo kabo mu omo na do so pa. Omo na apege mo no. Na mu check omo educational background so.
Yes. Omo ko senior high 34%. Omo ko university tertiary level 28%. Omo we junior high 23%. Na 15% say omo dey school no man ko bi.
And so say utimi be. Na omo employment status so where
at this time you are improve the categorization no. Because you baby potting and we adjuma so that we can analyze data in a very different way.
I just say my acosto respondent no.
Yes.
Mubebu san no. Sorry, Facha, mubebu san no ma we say nyina to ascertain who indeed and am on nekasa.
Not only that, but say you say omo ye omo samo adjuma no about one hwana motuma. Omo ye students why no motuma. Oma mo ni adwuma why no motuma. Oma mo adwuma of private companies why no motuma. Oma mo adwuma of aban mu why. But these are very useful data you should know. The political party.
As a political party, you should know the way or category where be a say we will have be a say
no employed, unemployed, student. I feel the wuro man kasa employed no adwuma wa he. Aban adwuma private company ana on one adwuma ana oyedwuma CSO.
Okay.
Because we share aban adwuma response the feeling of the civil servants in the country.
And in this instance, 11% of the respondents majority of them, the
yes, self-employed. Hairdressers, masons,
and Baba Funyina.
Yes.
Alaji Faruku Kage Geminganyo. Then we look at religion. Religion You say a taboo ma yanka ho asem.
You see, you can't avoid religion in any politics. Everywhere, it is part of us. It is who
you
we
cannot
are.
avoid religion.
No, it's the way you use it.
It's the way you use it.
Yes, the way you use it. But you can't take my religion from me. And some people
we are proud of it.
And some people choices are influenced by religion.
Nipa be choices.
Absolutely.
Are influenced by religion.
Absolutely. Even in the US, more evangelical votes are equal Republicans.
Oka ubi nti ase one lamponsa ne wakwese ne akwen ole France as de ban asema ye ka kire wo di matem searches ade na American bibi. Hey,
see, religion, and in fact, what we have done is say ya come one kasa basre for Pentacles for Methodist omunina, and the way
they have views.
They have views. You can't ignore them.
Obibeka said we are taking this view because of the religion.
Look, I asked my own mother.
Wow, mommy,
one question. Ubi a oye Christian ejina ho. Any ubi a oye Muslim ejina ho. Omo kwa kansia. Why na obeto ama. No ohwe menim, say ehwe menim enyamia.
Enyamia.
And she spoke her mind.
Spoke her mind to you?
Yes. And she's no different from many other voters, especially elder voters.
Elder voters, no?
Young ones, no, we are more liberal in our thinking. So you can profile almost religion is important to them. No? How old are they? Which side do they belong to? How do I get to them? You need to know as a campaign team.
There's a unimwe nyina non fangwa. Then ethnicity.
Now, mostly accounts 44%. 14% here. Other small tribes are yan name in the categorization. West 12%. Molly Dagbani 10%. Adangbe 10%. Once 5%. Rushi 2%. Ruma 2%. Mande 1%.
Enti enipa 5,844 no. Emu 44% accounts.
Yes.
It just that constituency no.
It's huge.
Very huge.
If you can't win them, you can't win.
If you can't win the accounts, you can't win. Then back again to the top.
Yes.
Say enipa 5,844 no. Emu saying any Christians.
67%. It's a huge chunk.
So that constituency of Christians, any accounts, you know, those two parameters.
Absolutely. You know? Absolutely. You should be able to appeal to them. You may not have to come from them, but you should be able to appeal to them and win their minds and hearts.
And San Nipa 5,844 no, who choose randomly.
Randomly on the street.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Debbie. In fact, you know, one community we are.
And Sana.
Ebisa will say, "Some ben odom. We are Muslimi and Akisoni. We are Basri and so kasi o me Akisoni so we are Basri and our Pentecost and I say, that's we Muslimi or Muslimin we are Sunni and we are Tijani and we are Ahmadi. It's a trainer ebisa because we don't want our ancestors to be influenced and come idea or so hono. And who here change demographic no kasi ye peno kweno o top nti ye misa wo kasi bia abema why a bit reserve nti ye bonko mo wi a na bisa these questions so that it doesn't influence your answers.
Okay. The next is figures here ebe validate a statistical service or add your mind.
You can go and even if it doesn't, there will be a friend poll adjustment. Can adjust the poll numbers using those parameters to see our response, how it will reflect the GSS statistics. When you statistics,
I remember the statistics. Just
yes.
Mebakujo at the University of Cape Coast. When I statistics,
okay.
Unweighted
poll.
Unweighted poll.
Yes. Into the official say, oh, maybe our adjust here. Can use that to adjust the data.
Okay. Na you share ethnicity, share religion. Were there other considerations like party affiliations also?
Yes, and it's very important for us. Until you say party affiliation, party about no time so otatuma. You miss out say we MPP member and NDC member. You know.
Okay, you move more party.
No, you miss out say we member. Member you will be a watching reading our party card. There be. You if you not we be a fine.
Name mo de mo bu say ni he ya.
Yes. Say ekoto aba. Party bena aya otatuma. Oh, me de mitatuma MPP. Na aya MPP voter. Oh, mitatuma NDC. Na aya NDC voter. Me de to be metuma NDC. Me matuma MPP. Matuma PNC. We know why floating voter.
Oh, no. And of the 5,844 no, you must say and or more affiliated to the MPP.
34% MPP.
Yes, MPP one of those.
At this stage, yes. 34%.
At this and NDC one of you're saying
33%.
Okay. And a huge chunk floating voter. Omoni here for.
Omo niha. Atwabi.
Atwabi. No Jim news eh.
Omo hwe na ya na mato. Omo hwe na enso moni na makọ bifufuro. They don't vote one party all the time.
Boha.
Omo 26%.
Okay. That is one doors.
Almost a third are floating voters.
And then you go a step further to process first-time voters with the party affiliation.
Yes. First-time voters, no. Omo nyan di 18 now. Omo di 18.
Yes, 16 to 18 groupings.
And now ubi a what di 18 so on to abada. Omo first-time voters. You can't mean a boom no. 32% say omo they see themselves as MPP sympathizers. 27 say omo NDC sympathizers or voters. 32%.
Once again,
floating voters. And others no 9%.
It's not just a catch them young group no crano. As omo ni MPP no. As NDC no.
In the last poll na NDC ahead. Than MPP. This time MPP is ahead than NDC. But we share the moving average around 31%. Which means that none of them can really win any election in this country on their own.
Winning elections on their own.
Okay. You need the coalition of floating voters. And
coalition of them.
And other voters.
And other voters. That is a work out your message now. You always go beyond
your party.
And then we go to the direction of the country. Yani Ora Musa Dankwa, executive director in Global Info Analytics. And it's a round of survey this time between January 1 to January 15, 2023. Over 5,844 persons. Responses and and then direction of the country. What do you mean, soccer direction of the country?
Yeah, question ibisa time biya ebeko. The person who say amount for mood in the country no in terms of more perception of where the country is headed. Ibisa almost say, in your view, do you believe Ghana is headed in the right direction or wrong direction?
And responses in the year saying
in January 71% say Ghana is headed in the wrong direction.
And it's a comparative analysis with the, October and January.
Now October now 77, very high.
Very high, 77%
in October said now.
And Kweyi.
This time around, I follow to 71%. Oma must say a Kweyi no, only 16 in October. Now I call 18%. And I must say, only opinion, now 7, I feel I call 11. Osha, the significant drop in the wrong direction no, could be linked to the performance of the CD and the petrol prices at the time the poll was being taken. Osha, Christmas time no, and numbers in the bar down. And the poll no, 31st December to January 15th. So the feeling of something happening.
As BBC.
Yes.
Be positive.
Absolutely.
And this is a number from transport fares.
Absolutely. So I know FED in the polling numbers. It no say that number no has improved over the period.
So, enti yesi ya hwe se nipa no a omo ka so omo party affiliation say no. Omo responses when we then begin to process direction of the country. Net saying.
You share omo mind that response on any party omo do no. From the MPP side, 26% of MPP voters believe Ghana is headed in the right direction. 60% say Ghana is headed in the wrong direction.
MPP for
Uber NDC, 13% say Ghana is headed in the right direction. 81% say headed in the wrong direction. Then floating voters, crucially, 12% say we are headed in the right direction. 74% say a wrong direction. And then we share others, 32% say we are headed in the right direction, and 56% say we're headed in the wrong direction.
The 60% of respondents are MPP for I can say the country is headed for the wrong direction. Yes, still the party has a
long way
to go.
Yes. But you see, it's not just the party. If the mood in the country changes, it affects everybody, whether MPP, NDC, PPP, everybody. So that number would improve.
Ma yen share a president the job approval. You can say president the job approval. Ne person saying.
Ne body and the juma no. So among for any ana and so.
And also your comparative analysis of October 2022 and January 2023.
We share October. Now 26% say obono homoding. This time a cost 32%. So there's been an improvement in his approval rating.
The course so
December.
No.
Yes.
People notice it.
Yes.
And then people have their views.
Something right is happening now. The poll will show. Yako na your good news yen fancy beba. That's global info. Oma almost say na enkoyi no omono homodi no. No omo 69%. Afi eswati about 59%. A drop of 10%. That is huge. Almost say almost near from 5% is now 9%. So a lot of people are still waiting to give him the credit. Yes.
And the party affiliation, it me processing with the job approval. No?
Yes. I mean, for the first time since I think July, more MPP supporters think he's doing well than before. So now, 46% of MPP supporters say, Omo approve Nanado.
That is a significant change from July of last year.
Yes.
Consistently, no one say, Onyadi. So in January 2023, this is the first time they are acknowledging.
Say, more of them are saying, say, Oyadi. And this is coming from the same data point. Improvement in the petrol prices, city stabilization, and then transport. 44% say still on mono homoding. Over NDC, 20% say on mono homoding. 75% say on mono homoding. Over the key block of voting voters, 26% say on mono homoding. 60% say on mono homoding. So there's still a lot of work to be done within the floating voter. Yes. And the other ones, 43 say on mono homoding. 50 say on mono homoding.
And this time around, you are talking about the vice president's job approval.
Yes. You see, your BBFN no research triangulation. People say, who say, the uhuono and a four no kre and anya no kre. It may be some questions be a bema indication of whether that is true. And I can't say Dr. Baumia's chances are tied to the performance of the president. His approval rating, any president, the same and divergent. Into a bizarre or no, the approval rating. 32% said they approve him. exactly the same number as Nanado.
The hotel who free Nanado went.
And 58% say on mono homoding. Nanado ye 59%. Only 1% difference. And 11% say they have no opinion. So this is a proof say he is tied to the
aprons. The Vice President Alhaji Mamadou Bawumia tied to the aprons of the president.
Yes.
It is the president now approval ratings. Likely selling the ever about former likely.
Absolutely.
And then you went further to then look at former trade minister Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen.
You see, as you said, because we see him as the other leading contender for the MPP. Intino, the Shweni approval rating now, it could give us a clue as to why, if he's leading in the general votation, why he's leading.
Quite significant to look at it.
Yes.
Because if we are looking at the vice president and he's tied to the aprons of the president, now you can't then to look at the former trade minister or also no approval ratings. Tell us about it.
Yes. Alan is approved by 35% of voters,
which is above
Nanado and Bawumia.
So, in the minds of the respondents,
yes,
Alan Kyerematen is approved over and above Nanado and Bawumia.
Absolutely.
And do we know why?
We didn't ask them why.
I necessary. No one is saying that here.
Yes. Ask them why.
Quite significant. Recently resigned trade minister, or we will say more simply, the former trade minister, the job approval rating, though he's not performing the job of the president or the job of the vice president, he's performing the job of a minister.
Yeah, in fact, we were specific. When he came to the president, we said he's doing his job as president. When he came to Bawumia, we said he's doing his job as vice president. When we came to Alan, we said he's doing his job as trade and industry minister.
And approval rating?
35% approve, 45% disapproval, and 20% no opinion. So he is the one with the lowest net approval deficit.
Net approval deficit, only 10%. Vice president,
around 40, I think
26%.
Yes, 26% thereabout.
And president, minus 27%.
Yes.
The president, 27% net approval, and then vice president, minus 26% net approval, and then Alan Kyerematen, 10% net approval.
Yes.
So statistically, what does it mean?
It shows the favorability or we call likability of that candidate. The higher your negatives, the more problem you have.
It is a correlation with
the eventual choices people make, yes.
But there's an angular now.
Exactly. That is
because hit that to no
there be I think I started these two people. So it will give us another evidence of what is happening in the general race.
For job approval rate.
Yes.
Okay. Yani Global Info Analytics Executive Director Ura Musa Dankwa and Komo and new twist abemono. Not only they look at the president's job approval rating, they also look at that of the vice president and then also the former trade minister. Now, in looking at them, almost to me who say the vice president approval rating, or you're tied to the aprons of the president. As what in went, president Lutua now with him, and no, and Koba said the net approval rating, vice president minus 26, whilst president minus 27. And then they go to the trade minister, former trade minister, and it's minus 10. And then, or catch it statistically, they just say, as an favorability, a strong. Then we come to the standard of living.
Yes. If you say a man for say, compared to last year, where a question they be because eventually this would feed into the choices people make. If say was improve, we tend to vote for the government in power. The coercer we tend to vote against them. So this is another means to verify and triangulate say, the race between Baumiani, Mahamani, Alani Mahamano. Is there any evidence from here to suggest it is right?
How do you describe your standard of living?
Yes.
The past 12 months. 2022.
You could see that in Okasaya, here, not it is saying 56% say it's worsened.
Yes.
28 say are improved, unchanged, and 11% say are improved, and no opinion 5%. But sure, worsened 67% in October.
Yes.
Eswati to 56. Again, the feeling of feeling good. FED.
Feeling good factor, no?
FED into the people's responses. And you can see it clearly here. There's evidence that situation, that period was positive to the government. I'm say and society no a cost from 21 to 28.
They just say almost say I say no 9% drop.
Yes.
And I almost say and society so a 7% apples.
From improvement from 9 to 12%. So a transition. Before because I was Bibian society I improve. So people move from west unchanged to improved. That's the spectrum that they move along.
And this time around, you are also asking how optimistic they are.
Yes.
And that
is where the good news is for the government, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Now it is 41%. No, 42%. No opinion is 17%. Last October, no for 61%. We were not hopeful.
And at this time around, to me, Abba said 41% are saying say the GDP.
So you see, when the economy respond, the poll numbers will show. So men kasi global info and OYBB.
A response is no ya processing data no.
Absolutely. So this shows if the economy improves, the election will be close. If it doesn't, it will not be close.
Aye, right. Yani a global info analytics executive director Musa Dankwa na etwetwe nkomo. A new round of survey omakoye between beginning just last day of the year, December 31, 2022, up to middle of January, January 15, 2023. Now responses about omuni enipa 5,844 and akwa kasa across 82 constituencies and home common yedi no. Now they look at so many areas and airquays and mautimi the gauge that they can latter part of the year says here to diesel mo marginally enipa bi so etete wo no so transport operators esotete transport no a feed into responses yade eba and optimism bi so abanipa bi so say asade ni be yi the handlers of the economy should be happy somewhat.
Oh, they should be happy with this data. Yes.
Then we talk about corruption.
Yes.
Corruption
there, Mr. Ajinsem, from the data.
The corruption there, omonyo.
I mean, it's not improving. Ibisa say, what do you think about corruption in Ghana today?
That is the state of corruption in Ghana. No?
64% say it's getting worse.
Oh.
And it's the same, 20%. It is improving 9%. Last October, it's getting worse, 62%. I feel a cost for 64. I'm see is the same, no, 21. It's 40, about 21. It's improving, no, 13, I feel they are about 9. So I think on corruption, it is really getting worse.
Getting worse.
From the public opinion.
Anti-corruption, they getting worse. Then, you have voter psychology. What engages the voter's mind? Key issues being and almost
say on the 12 by 2024.
Yes.
I mean, the top of the issue is economy. Economy, and economy. It doesn't matter what they do. If they can't fix the economy by 2024, before the election, I think it will be difficult for them. You see, some will say it in a very nice way, but we will say it as it is. It will be very, very difficult.
Now, 61% say almost major issue, key issue, economy.
Followed by jobs, 57%. And these are linked, they are together.
The finance ministry, any trade ministry.
Jobs, economy. When the economy picks up, job numbers will pick up. If the economy tanks, job numbers will tank. The next is education, 43%. So it's always been economy, jobs, education. Now on fourth, we have roads. Fifth, petrol prices. Fifth, petrol prices. And on more health. Next, taxes, corruption, 13. The good news is that corruption is not rating higher at this stage. So even though the government is doing very bad on corruption, it's not feeding into
on top of people's mindset.
Exactly. And then you should probably, because the economy and the jobs are dominating the discussions.
Corrupt. It is dominating the mind. Okay, Yane Musa Superior and AD. Did I say Musa Superior? Yane Musa Dankwa. Oh, Superior, I never back on Takakra. I never back on Takwa. Anything baby, I am no Aquawa, as also no Yabeko Honum. Now we go to MPP primaries.
Yes.
Now, before MPP primaries, I'm if I will say in Kalimukakra, Emrasis, yeah. NEAT 100.9 FM na utie NEAT 100.9 FM asema da hot ya wan se ene ya ni global info analytics ena edi nkomo na nkomo aye no mu die no executive director na nkasa eye Musa Dankwa ena ti studio hase ya ya dwendwene ye ho ne emunsam aba na Runoff survey a omode bae no ebi a yaduru sisi ya ne MPP primaries data.
Yes, sir.
MPP primaries. Take us from there.
I think amount for be MONTIE Jumanasi.
Nipa bin te Jumanasi.
Yes. Almost delegate number 12 ba into way who here. Yen ka say ye interview delegate fully. Ye no polar ye be baba ye nyanye ye yemfa bibia into dwa.
It Musa will be say we MPP delegate or not.
No, in the course of the sample, no, it be say, we a delegate or to a bar na. I
more sad data no.
Near co. Utre party our Uduma, say, we MPP delegate, we MPP ni. Surprisingly, I mean, control. Yeah, who among for almost a mere delegate for MPP mo, ni NDC mo, almost a floating voters. Almost a delegate. Or floating voters.
So a delegate or no say or a delegate. I want the party no. They MPP and I send it to.
But sign floating voter.
Hey, no, very at your massy.
Fear delegates.
Fear delegates. No.
Fear delegates.
Just was a delegate and so no.
Was a floating voter.
He on your autopilot.
He holds the party's card. Or you're an active member of either NDC, MPP, whatever. Or you see, what's saying Ibisano earlier before or disclosing a party identity. So he doesn't have the chance to lie.
This time I just you're boxing it.
Yes. Oh, are you someone or a delegate who is allowed to vote in the upcoming primaries? Or say yes. And now no. A chiri krana bisa so part ben na aba for no to a eso a osatuma o metatuma NDC metatuma MPP. So okofa MPP a you know say we MPP delegate. Okofa NDC a you know say we NDC delegate. We don't expect people who say they are party delegate to say only floating voters. Are they party men party men floating?
Or jump from Obohabo Hasade with the free him.
So
yet we have found them.
Yeah. So the work we do now is just to inform the party and the nation generally. Say who would Ghanaians want MPP to present to them in the general election scenario. It is not compulsory to say delegate or choose that choice. No. But we are letting you know who
guidance
Ghanaians would like to have. Then that tells the delegates, okay, should this inform the way I vote? Or we believe that we are right and that we can convince Ghanaians to follow us subsequently. It's a choice, but it's an informed choice. You are making a choice based on information and data. So all voters know. Alan is backed by 41% of Ghanaians.
That is all voters.
Yes. They prefer Alan to lead MPP in 2024.
That's the choice
of people. But we should be very smart here as well. To know, say, there are some NDC people who could vote for Alan because they want his candidate, their candidate, to face him. And vice versa. There were MPP who are vote to ama other candidate because so there are dynamics that goes in here.
No, na onzi edikan ka say obi say a delegate. No ko ya sabe floating voter. Na obi susu betimi ato aba. Obeka se meto aba de ama we aba be me party flag bearer. The presumption would be so person oshia that was in a chess game.
A chess game. So we admit, say, it plays a role here. Inti, almost say on Baumia, no, only 32%.
Oh, so all voters, no, whom they expect to lead or they want to see lead
MPP.
the MPP, no, 41% for Alan, and then 32%
for Baumia.
There's a 9% gap between Alan and Baumia.
Now, Alan, or 44% in October. A Swati by 3 percentage point, 41. He's lost 3%.
Yeah.
Now Baumia, 31%. He has gained 1% to 32%. 10 has not changed. 14 in October, 14 now among all Ghanaian voters.
And someone else, no?
Someone else, not 8% last time. I feel a 9%. And now others, all the Africa Kutu, Joe Gatumina, Okabomo 4%, and society. Nothing has changed from that.
I just say, safe to so just say MPP, could be 2 horse race, and
yes, it's 2 horse race.
Yes, when we look at MPP voters only, and also no figures in it saying.
We share MPP. That is the most important data here for us, because that figure will closely represent the views of MPP delegates. We NDC for the framework, we PNC for the we floating for the rest of the vote, be MPP. So if you look at within MPP membership, what is their thought? Within MPP alone, Baumia 40% right now. Alan 40%.
At par.
Kennedy at Japan 14%. Others 4%. Someone else 2%. But we shared comparative data. Now Baumia was 42% in October. He has dropped 2 percentage points. Now, Alan was 40%. He remained unchanged. Kennedy is the one that has made a lot of gain. He is now on 14%. The loss of 2 from Baumia went to Ken.
So Ken is taken from Baumia.
From this side, from Baumia. And those who said someone else, 2% of them went to Ken. So Ken is now there someone else that they want to move to. So Ken is now on 14%.
Okay.
Now, in actual vote quantum, they interview almost 1,877 MPP supporters.
1,877. Omono and
MPP, I know Mukasai.
That's right.
The difference between Alan and Baumia is leading Alan by 12 votes. 12. 1, 2 out of 1,877.
I just say I am neck to neck.
It tells you how close that race is going to be
amongst the MPP voters.
Yes, because you see, we expect there will be a correlation between the MPP voters and their delegates, because they are supposed to represent the bigger MPP. But because you can't get every MPP member to go and vote, that's why you have delegates. You have been delegated the powers to go and represent our views. So if the views of the general MPP members is like this, we expect not much difference between this data and delegates data. So they are very close.
Very close. It's show say all voters in the Alan
LED
at 41%. LED Baumia by 9 percentage points.
Yes.
They so by MPP more
a draw.
MPP more a draw.
Yes.
But all voters and alliance you who say not a party no ever require other supporters from
exactly. Osha Alan gets a lot more vote from NDC than Baumia. And there are a lot more floating voters rooting for Alan than Baumia. That is why he's leading among all voters by that 9 percentage point.
It is a broad-based candidate, more of a year Alan.
Yes, on the data.
At Uba MPP more, and a year draw. Now, year draw, no, so you require the MPP as a prerequisite, and at the national.
Exactly.
And delegates could be making a point, say, Oman choose yeah, Ometime could choose a candidate on your broad base at the national level.
Then you will see the result in the elections.
Now, why a trend analysis you are saying?
Yes.
Explain further.
It gives you the trajectory of the race, where just MPP voters. They started last year, January, Now, Baumia was on 62% of MPP support. Alan here, 26%.
Last year,
last year,
first one
year,
out,
yes.
Now, within MPP support, now Baumia was 62%. And then now Alan was 26%. And he in April 2022.
And now Baumia a sink here from 62 to 48. And now Alan called 41 straight away. We say that didn't see it. Almighty E-Levy.
Almighty E-Levy.
Yes.
And Baumia's job approval rate, a link to that of the president
and what people felt the government was doing at the time.
And will suffer from it.
Yes. And since then, he hasn't recovered.
It's not just Baumia suffers from the performance of the government and the perception people.
Exactly.
In
July, Tiba 44%. Alan was still 41%. Right? But Alan Tiba 44 from 48. Kennedy raised no more in July formally.
Yeah.
And Grabo for no free Baumia.
And in October 2022, Baumia further dropped from 2%. 44 to 40. And Alan moves from 41.
But Alan dropped from 41 to 40 in October.
Okay.
And he has remained so now again. So he's stable around 41 since April last year.
Yes,
average, yes. Well,
averagely,
yes, people
on a level.
So the swing within MPP is happening between Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
It is Alan not here.
He's stabilized.
He's stabilized.
Yes, I mean the people who want to vote for Alan have made up
in their minds.
Baumia, they are wobbling between him and Kennedy Japan.
I come here. Then you come to in the event, says you see an MPP voters in Akoye dead hit 40-40. Yampan said if there were to be any runoff between Alan and Baumia, what happens?
Now that is where the interesting stuff come in. In the case of runoff, what we see is that Baumia becomes very vulnerable.
Baumia becomes vulnerable when there's a runoff.
Yes.
Between one and Alan.
Yes.
Yes.
Because almost in the Japan, no, in the runoff, no, they go and vote for Alan. Most of them. A very small proportion vote for Baumia. And a chunk of them, over a third, say Abano Omonto.
Hey.
Yes. Kennedy supporters know Kennedy no vote. But most of them go to Alan anyway. And that deprives Baumia of any chance of winning if there is a runoff. Unless he can win one touch runoff, he will be out.
Oh. Okay, then we Alan Sinchaya. Could there be any runoff between say Baumia and Kennedy Japan?
You see, we've heard some posters say, oh, 3-horse race. If you want to second, and away into the running scenarios, no.
And the Benepsin crowd was saying, Baumia 1, Kennedy 2, and Alan a distant third.
Okay, so Oshe, we wanted to show all the scenarios that are meant for narrating, so that we can see where people's stress level lies. In Tierrane, another where it is Alan and Dr. Baumia and Canada, Japan. Yes, assuming Alan is knocked out.
Yeah.
In that case, no, 58% vote for Baumia, 42% vote for Ken.
Yes, Ken, a bit really Baumia, 42 to 58.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Yanko Samra.
Oshe
Ken, any Alana. Ken, 28%. Alan, 72%.
Tell us the interesting thing about it.
What we are seeing from the data is that Kennedy is what we call a fringe or a maverick candidate.
A fringe or maverick candidate.
He's not appealing to the mainstream MPP. So when he's against the mainstream candidate, all the mainstream come together to fight him. So it means that the traditional MPP people wouldn't want to see Kennedy upon leading the party and even the country. This is the only time you see Alan and Ken people coming together to fight a common enemy. From the data.
Crystallization.
From the data. Yes.
Data
from the data.
Who process data now?
You see the evidence there.
In the event of a runoff,
yes,
between Alan and Baumia, what happens?
Now you find out that 52% of Ken supporters will go and vote for Alan. 14% will go and vote for Dr. Baumia.
And then 60-40.
34% say Abano Omuntu. And also all other candidates support a comma Ken doesn't go to Baumia. That is the worrying trend for Baumia. He must have natural allies within the bloc. Otherwise, when it comes to runoff, they will all go and follow Alan.
Okay. I hope say you yet your once. Into ho and other by splitting Kennedy a compro con Japan niveaus in DMB versus AKK runoff no what's our statistics no actually more.
Yes, so who shared the runoff between is it Kennedy Japan any Alan 70% and Ken 28%. I think yes. So basically, yeah, we have demonstrated that this is how Ken supporters will behave.
The data is so clear.
It's so clear, yes.
It's quite interesting. Said normal is echo. I would have thought say that particular angle we see all voters Alan leads the pack.
Yes.
And then MPP voters they are at par. Then you begin to talk about runoff. Then Alan gains furthermore. And you are trying to explain to us the entire in the event of a runoff, Alan Enya more.
Now, we've said, traditionally, people who back Canada, Japan are at the front of the party.
People who back Canada, Japan are on the fringes of the party. So omne nenam ano.
Yes. Omne the mainstream. And there are also group of people they like Nana-Addo as a president, but they can't bear themselves to vote for Bawumia, which is his natural successor. What people think. So they rather move to Kennedy, not Alan. Oshia, from what we have seen, I mean the data, those who approve Nana-Addo strongly, they don't approve Alan Chiramatin.
Those who approve Nana-Addo strongly, don't approve Alan Chiramatin.
Yes. So we are able to
yes, so
it gives you the mindset of the people, and then it tells you how the second round of voting will pan out.
As the November NDC primaries, and the because interesting bits here, I will say about former MP back, I don't see a man a chance also, so I make a big kakra. If a man a chance, one man a chance kakra. Now, interesting bit, said of the 82 constituencies, you are now telling us what
happened there.
What happened there? So, it may take me about 10 minutes to do that one. It's individual constituencies,
Yes. They started from Buem, Alan, we need Buem.
Alan wins Buem by 53 to Bawumia's 35.
Bulsanov, Bawumia wins 55-36.
Central Tongue,
they are at par, draw 43-43.
Ladade Kotopong,
Dr. Bawumia 83%.
83%.
Yes.
And then one la honum. What's here? Hey! And then Dafiama Busie Isa. Alan wins in the Upper West Assembly.
Yes.
And Alan 75%.
Yes.
Damango Abujinapo.
Seat. Bawumia wins
60% to Alan's 27%. Doma East.
Alan
wins. Oh, also full seat. Also full. I want to say any. And Doma East also full seat. If you just was a correct.
Bawumia wins.
And then you know. And now you say, I Bawumia Ripa. Hey! And Ampim Dakon. Ampim Dakon and now you. The more yellow of Fijaso no. Then a just so
48% Bawumia wins.
A year John Kuma.
Yes.
And I can say, Alan Susono, the Chini Juso. And now, when a true somebody wrote something and says, a Juso Krana. I'm trying to recall. Alan Krano, you be beaten or Juso.
It is showing here.
It is showing.
Yes.
I do such a dumase.
Why a draw?
Why a draw? Pantiaqua North.
Bawumia.
Oh, MP didn't Mano. Oh. Come on, Ukuta, a year guy named Bisa. I just come guy name you cry, say. I'm a someone testing for mammy. I just come guy name, a year Fantiaqua North. I just go, Usinino. Ukuta guy named. Now, for Mina,
Bawumia wins.
Bawumia wins for Mina. Garu,
Bawumia wins Garu 71%.
And then Gomua East.
Alan 75%.
Alan 75%. Gomua West
19%.
Say Fanti, about Fanti Mono. And then Gomua West.
Bawumia wins 58%.
Kushegu
Alan.
Kushegu a northern region.
Yes.
Alan a showing.
Yes.
One Upper West. Then northern. Like I say, Alan in the 5 northern regions. No. Ibiumana. Germanoff,
Alan 52%.
Karaga.
Bawumia 56%.
Then Keta in the water region.
Bawumia 60%.
Woo.
Yes.
Commander Edna Eguafu Ebrim.
Square draw.
Konkata Manso
31.
Why not make impression of Konkata Manso?
31. Alan. Someone else 46%. Umum people be
hopes na doye Omumpo be and hopes be kwa kofa Commander 1. Enti Ponkata Mansono, Alan beats Baumia by 31-23. Then Krachi in Chumrum.
Baumia 45%.
Krowo
48% Alan.
Kumbungu
Alan 76%.
In the northern regional.
Yes.
So
Alan wins 45.
Go Afram Plains North.
50% Alan.
Lambusier. Kana kunya 63. Kenana.
Kwesimin team 10. 62%.
62%.
Yes.
I work Kwesimin team.
24%. Alan 14.
And who wins Lambusier?
Lambusier Alan.
5 northern regions na Alan showing you know Ebanisano.
Lambusier
Upper West. Say.
Yeah.
And then say in Siachilebi Ukosu. Lejo Kuku.
Alan
52%.
Yes.
Asante Mampong.
Alan 50%.
Impoho in the western region.
Baumia 64%.
Nabdam.
Baumia 75%.
Nadoli Kalio.
Somebody else. Or others Nibio.
But Kennedy makes a showing of 23% on Nadoli Kalio. Only a fence ASK Babi, a fine. Only ASK Babi, a fine. Papa. I feel
Boom.
They say boom. Nalerigu Gambaga.
Baumia 94%.
In the northeast. And Soma Duajiri
60% Baumia.
And then change me off as in oh. I don't pray. I just about or the billboard akusunti. Why the Wakuyi. I don't pray. A minia back. Patricia from Poor Manson and then from Poor Manson. Omuma mi ewu adoajiri. Enti ayi no. Say or say baby jam what ya na. Papa of ase. Penya samuaba. And say papa ne wu mi you know. And it's from Poor Manson Patricia from Poor Manson. Maame ne wu adoajiri. Ismaila no maame me be yi no tia no baby jam yi no ai. Obuasi East. Any in Hornum tete no.
Baumia 58%.
No, Alan 58.
Sorry, Alan 58, sorry.
Yes. Odio.
Baumia 93%.
When one Victor Banaman. Odotobri.
Alan 62%.
Okay,
69% Alan.
I just a Dankwakubuchi.
Yes.
True West.
70% Alan.
Salaganov.
Nina Baumia 100%.
Commander, you better say Abubakar Siddiq. Asema da wonu no no. Eti Kotoma, mumetie. Yesi Salaganov.
Baumia speak clean.
Baumia agini nyina free munsem. Enti Commander Abubakar Siddiq Boniface. Woni Kotoma. Mumra metie. Salaganov. Munya bi ma Alan kura enti edi ayemo. Second D Mesa.
Baumia
53 to Alan's 21.
Yes.
Shama. I can't didn't echo Shama.
72% in Shama.
I didn't echo Shama.
This is the second time.
This is the second time.
Yes.
Shama no be because
Shama is out for the MPP.
I come yanko wi mo. Swamai enche honum so no. 75 for Ken. Baumia nya bi oswamai honum kra. Sunyan West Bafo
55% Alan.
55% Alan. And then 57% Alan. Techiman North.
43% Alan.
Tema Central.
86% Alan. 86.
Nino eho.
Yes.
Tema Central. Mini ya no again. Trouble.
39 Baumia.
And then 25 Alan.
And 29 10. Others.
Others no. Upper Menya Krobo.
50% Baumia.
15%.
Sorry, 50% Baumia.
And then 62% Alan.
Yes.
As a man can say, there be a year at Desu. Upper West Achim Adesu. Baumia.
50%.
And Alan
32%.
Yo in the upper northeast.
100% Baumia.
And then Zabzuku.
75%. Baumia.
Right. And the Jump and see us in any course, kakra. Gone. And Nana, grab a mammy. At the corona was working or make a mean tipa. Hey, the run this will be bigger. It is friend bra. Or make an answer mean tea. And you know, well, what an interesting data. Na info analytics. When a crime na mo faswa. Put me in your skadi say adwuma we.
Yeah, private company.
Private company. Engage in other work.
Other works. So yeah, charity na yeah think tank. How we be sponsor. So yeah, quite happy because help us do what we are doing. Yes.
Nah.
And this data, there are other companies and other what do you call investors are almost hear this data. Buy and find job, it's all more.
Yes.
So we're quite diligent what we do because it say our value.
Okay. Yen call kakra fi yen samra back to the studios. Yen wo emra anyway. Ura Collins so amam kwa former member of parliament for Runoff. Sir Randy near the friend no. Also a person was taking a comment or two. Sir Randy.
Yeah, Mahmoud.
Now what you saying?
Maybe I will call.
Then I will say I can't come up as okay.
Oh, Sebi, as a student of research class, okay, analysis, a year global info analytics, the up to honor, a very detailed data. Mejitum say, data also must be served as a guide. And wa a far home piano, or your moduma, a bebow. The met can say me person born abaso, and indeed, we have methodology. Or more they use to their sample size now. Say they mean business. Honestly speaking, or more new fields of research work. Mejitum say ebeboa or mine going forward into medical bon abaso. Now my can also say from where I'm also coming from. Mejitum say mobile constituencies be this game is not over until it's over. Politics, the mind game. And your areas be ultimately pro Baumier's camp no. MPs maybe or clearly ultimately who say open declaration no any intimidatory tactics here behind the scene cost or no are reflected in the data. And no mammy who say Juma global info analytics are you know very credible. It's somebody like Ura Alan Martin. Alan is yet officially and also formally engaged delegates. And also so no egma and that's what ba Team Alan for no so say or a man to beat in this contest because unlike vice president any Kennedy or Hine Japan are almost 30 meeting delegates because the meeting delegates are formally I mean person say constituency polling station electoral area constituency executives etc. Now we engage you more formally no oral and chamate onyanye sadie no of course our social events are all corner. It's also full of delegates. Maybe a party maybe a FRIMPONG party maybe sorry the delegates are there and you know said the budget is so and also reflected in data now they are to a piano. Now media kakra metimi aka ne say Team Alan
stand better chance of leading the party because so Ora Chematin started say or engage delegates formally. Message of hope, no, he hosts it. And he also comes with huge experience because one, Onyakwanya to sit in Kufuor's cabinet to share Ora Kufuor, Kwanya Ofaso, Totone Niema. The same person is saying Nyakwanya to sit in another cabinet. Oshia Nanado, Oshia Niema Bibri, and all blended two different regime, no entire new patriotic party, and the produce we know. It's in Osha candidacy now. Orache Martin is more experience. Juma or Baba Yama or Mino.
Okay, so Randy, a pana one and sana wako. A year or share job rating of the president, not share job rating of the vice president. Now I said the two are tied and then tied together. And was share job rating of a year job approval of Chematino. Next Chematino job approval rating here over and above that of the president Nana Akufo-Addo and vice president Mahamudu Bawumia. What does it tell you?
Well, I think it says with the idea straightforward because Sebi near Bronco and Adoknonko. Until say, oh yeah, first and second in commander. You rate him in our pay. Sana eba Oswa forces were Juma. I don't know a specific responsibility. And I the amount. If you narrow na your babbe say, what's your honor? Unya Konyan, and dear na utimi ye. May, for instance, make I say me one Rashebi Joe. When you say me your former chairman for Government Assurance Committee. Yes, in Parliament. Now, Ukraine now share performance-based report from respective agencies and ministries now. Clearly, now to me, who say oral and Chematemo demo was papa. It's also reflecting in the data. That's what I'm saying. Is me bought a year and pen for researchers no abaso. It's answer all my detailed work. That be almost armchair research officers are. Opinion be our Krumoha. Or no, the ono tie radio na college in the Bemwa. Now I shall office no church or the
What
I'm saying is it's a serious business. So we are now here a boa or minor, if in terms of resource allocation, a guide or minor. If you look at the demographic nature of the country, the thinking of the people, the psyche of the sense of the public, a guide you.
Okay.
As government to plan and plan well.
Okay.
Okay.
Last one, almost conducted survey last day of 2022, December 31, at the change year January 1 up to January 15, 2023. And Chematino so attended the resignation, was it January 5? And present accepted year January 6, and or exit office Monday January 16. Chematin originally we on mine no so akasa na the first outing into the regions no Obasante amode waudi mubi amode bosses ebe shia no wo Kubase na majiji na baba through ejuso ana mode na Kumase. And thereafter, from Asante, go to Ahafo, go to Bono, go to Northeast, over free Northeast, Northeast, no the Abahafo, no the Ababono, no the Akuyo, Bono East, Wasan Abanechi, engage party regional executive near it. So, all see a bonting, and in the resignation, Kasa or Kasa, at the Mama, do you expect, say, a better reflected in the next polls are? In 90 days, Anna.
Yes, I'm very certain and convinced that Oral and Chemate
approval ratings be high because one, o see for mono, what demonstrate here will be the kind of program he has for the people of this country. The MPP for as the next flag bearer. Wama Obia will say he's clear in mind. Say a 2 way in a media, the person be dema or minor, and it's enough for people to believe in what he's saying. And now you say, the great transformational plan and our program no GTP no. Details now. I feel no bad change more. Where the table for no kind. All see from no or coach room. Say because say the person you sent your local currency now. Say because I met your community as the president there. Sabi the Japan no din fufu bo. The investment I me pata yenye hano and no ne be ye adwuma. So over the years no me was akumapano any sa program where me pese me yama o man no na me titi sem crofo beti na fi ye said the America say one experience from both regime no under the same MPP government and no be man na approval ratings no ebe cost and characterize we share over the years the demonstrable records said the oji obia tum sabi oye obia odo obia in fact all free ministry ho nipa na esu etinisio it's not easy say public officer not officer ube free ministry na civil servants arehwa kan womo it tells you say over the years no kwanya our first no omo tena e ministry ho no yes from kokra na ni nyina delegates no share niema omo be hunu say yes he's a leader omo betimi I rely on and media me wo gidie mapa say by the time he's done by crisscrossing the whole country with the GTP message game over
right yenna wase Sir Randy was pa
Nemo mame ne ma no si na ba tem ba ko bi a me pese me ka ne se message macha say nyina obia susu say ne preferred choice embra no mo ma ye nya ade a party no be twateche mu a afei whoever wins no na no so ko fast and for fabre ADAKABRI BBC wo Eastern region I don't think say you're right message vice president and crop for our own ye dwuma no ma no say enye bibia na dwuma bi ye ne bedwom hwese sika omo send the command constituency officers any electoral area coordinators ni bi mponye omo nyina no hwese ebi kokosi individual bondholders ni bi so in the region omo bu afu say mo say ye nyina ye sacrifice na mo de mo chiche thousand at the constituency executives ni bi any electoral area coordinators 300 cedi ADAKABRI ebasa ema communication yet dey ma ye as a party and as a senior communicator measurement now man microphone and say a buying any party no ahead 2024 general elections no and yama enya dey ma it measurement say omo nya careful kakra ma ye yesere omo na if any mu no adoso
hey you the Randy Adasi
yo measurement that one
right and back to the studios near my final comments from the executive director of Global Info Analytics. As Ciano commendation kakra as Global Info Analytics at me a stamp on authority in this area of data collection and processing of the data, churning out a credible survey. When they say all back can be Americans will be champwa, you be motivated them, Yajuma Ejumani nyama abonten so na or kasa free bibia o free say e be free adwuma no de aba and then Global Info Analytics and they share other portals they are all citing Global Info Analytics into assurances ben e benya say e be du ba bi no mon dilute too adwuma amoye
obi na can say let me quote senior journalist Pratt. See the credibility of the researcher. The
credibility of the researcher matters.
So beside the company philosophy, that we must do things right. We are not going to compromise any way, in any form. We are very confident that we will continue to provide this service until elections at the same level of quality and detail as we have been doing. Tough, but we are persevering and we are doing it very well. We have people who are committed volunteers. Also free bag. For example, last week, you may see on Pru West. And I made two your group say people be free or Pru West. I am mammy. Be free. Go so. Eko Pru West where you
go so be twemu nyai e twemu etachimai e twemu granza ebisi adwira and na chese ofro people no call yaji e call left side Pru West.
That is how committed the team is. People have bought into the philosophy. Say, look, we are doing something different. Let's continue with it.
Okay.
Independent. Ye kone ya ye beka. Enyeswa ye beka. Ye mfe bin kaho. Ye nyi bin film. That's who we are.
That's who we are.
And omo nim research no. Omo kind of what we are. They fake. Omo nim because there are other areas of the responses that will give you away.
Your best, your particularization in I mean, more from it. Why? Until there was a breast studio. Obaye, the day you know, Muya, Mudia Nidisuma, a neat 100.9 FM. In the next 90 days, it was at the BBM. It's in
would be the one before the MPP NDC primaries.
And that before May.
Before May, April. And I don't know that predictions or that poll. No.
Ever catch there and normal
say wronger by me. It will be dead.
More wronger by me. It will be dead.
Yes. So that at least what we get in April for NDC will much more or less what happens in that primary.
Right. It's Yanko maintenance in Kunkusi April. Now global info analytics. But in between the particularization, now you're reading more into this data. Musa Dankwa of the Global Info Analytics, Yadamasi Papa, Utie Neat 100.9 FM Ghana Montie, usual in Kakosia Buajine Tremo, but me offer said the maestro, Magero Sajmine, Ebetremo, Edemano, Nina Mu, and the Kukuwi say, Abujang, the Yenti Bida, and Yate, Sabranton was at this very bridge, na Nehokafo, if free more. Na Abranton Nya Kuku do Tremo, itimidi year program, Nukuku see 10 a.m. say me to me. Na okoya na yira wujano wa wakisi na nopa ebe yuma na okoya no ba na shemoch such an experience and say a true bia mimini da ena na wotweda no yibidi ewo Asante Achim Central konongo Majero Sajima onyame ena yesre ne mpa body ma yeso ayaka akire no yesua bibidi afri mu tabri wi ADAKABRI Mamudu Usioma ena mbedi dwumade panyin ko da me ahomachi obeta machi ebehwe ma oye the proud owner of the contents of this show na abna frima bankro ono soso ni nana ya asafo omo soso ehwe technical production my nana ku every year e bia wo bia me chia o
Go sit back passing mama go sit back passing and go sit love it drive me crazy Naturu I know the lie I'm go baby I'm me home